And welcome back to Flick Fights, everybody, where two movies enter, one movie leaves. I am Devon Vestal, and with me, as always, is Nick Nye. How we doing?
Hey, good. Made it 2 weeks in a row. Let's go.
Yeah, I was like, what an accomplishment we've made this week. Didn't even have to skip the normal day on the actual day. It's crazy. We're not, the world is falling apart. We are a war-torn universe, but...
It's a small fire. It'll take care of itself.
If you are new to the show, we take two movies that have a similar genre, similar plot, sometimes the exact same movie twice. This week, we are doing Limitless, the Bradley Cooper movie, versus Phenomenon from 1996, the John Travolta movie. Both movies explore the false concept of using only 20% of your brain and what happens when you use it all.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, if you use 100% of your brain, that's called a seizure. That's you
also, the reason you're not
once.
actively using most of your brain is because it's all automated. That you're breathing, your blood flow.
Yeah, it's cool. You know math. Is your heart beating not by itself anymore? And we found in this movie, the answer is no.
Especially when Limitless came out, I remember a run of movies that did this exact concept.
Yeah, there was like Lucy, I think one was called.
Yeah.
And like, God, yeah, there's a few things where just like super smart, like competent mega person.
They unlocked all of their brain's potential. Kyle XY, I think that was one. But I almost wanted to do Limitless versus Lucy because they came out around the same time and had the same concept.
Yeah.
But Lucy ends up in such an other fucking place.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I am God now. It's like, okay, let's calm down a little bit there. Which Phenomenon felt like it was going to keep maybe going there.
It
and
did.
it's just like, nope, I'm just a charming local boy.
I doubt you've seen it, but there was this movie called Joshua back in the day when my family was super religious that was similar to Phenomenon, not the brain power and stuff, but this guy was performing crazy miracles, and it's basically Jesus. That was the whole plot of the movie. It was for Christians. There was a part in Phenomenon where I'm like, is this gonna be Jesus? They should treat him like it's Jesus.
I mean, dude, just the whole thing, man. It's like, what do we do with people who say they're Jesus? Where do we put those people? It's just it's like, what if he was just one of them? And just like, no, you get into all the other Jesus just over in that cage.
The Jesus. That's awesome.
Jesus.
But yeah, we take two movies, we go through the plots, we discuss the plots, we make fun of the plots, then we take them through 10 rounds, score them each on a scale of 1 to 10, and declare a winner. If you could like this episode, subscribe to the channel, share it, follow us on Twitter, or not Twitter, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We will never have Twitter. I don't even know why I said that. Some ancient part of my brain that's heard this line a million times.
Not even Twitter anymore. That's like saying, like, follow me on fucking MySpace.
Dude, nobody even calls it. They will always say on Twitter, aka X, like with an eye roll. Nobody even acknowledges it as that.
Oh yeah, no, we were forced into duress to take that
right.
name. It's like, fucking X Twitter, but
yeah, they still said, like, I saw a tweet on X, like, obviously shouldn't be a tweet anymore, but what do you call it? I saw an X on X.
Yeah, but after there's like 300 billion of something, you can't really rename it.
Yeah. What a fucking shit show that has been.
And the fact that that's such a small blip in the bullshit that we've been dealing with recently that, like, I almost forgot.
Speaking of watching the skies, I don't know if you've seen the news recently, for where you live specifically. Really? The FBI just warned that there could be an impending drone attack on California from Iran.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, I really didn't want to have to break that news to you, but
I'm busy, man.
That sucks. Watch the skies, Nick. I don't think they would actually make it over American airspace, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of moving lights out there, but I live near fucking the airport, so it doesn't really help me much. I'm like, okay, is that a good dot or a bad dot?
This will be the most viewed episode of Flick Fights ever. Beloved movie streamer and friend dies on camera.
Yeah. God, imagine it's like you have like Markiplier just turns the camera, just 9/11 out the window, like that level of exposure. You'd be everywhere. You couldn't escape that.
That would make a really good scene in like an apocalypse movie.
Just the streamer's like, oh, what's that, man? Oh, yeah.
Oh, everything's on fire. But without further ado, we're going to get into our tale of the tape for this matchup. In the red corner is Limitless from 2011, directed by John Turteltaub. I don't know how else to say that.
Just flashing back to Master Disguise. A turtle.
Turteltaub. Budget was $27 million, which is pretty low, honestly.
Yeah.
It's less than Phenomenon, which is kind of weird.
I mean, it's all fucking like there's not really like special effects in it. There's like the weird camera things and the editing tricks, but that's about it. Like,
right.
you
I
know,
just figured at least to pay Bradley Cooper, like, and De
that's probably 10
Niro.
million of it.
Runtime was 105 minutes. Oh, sorry. Worldwide box office was 161 million. Also, IMDb has it as 7.4. Critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 69%. Nice. Audience gave
Nice.
it a 73%. Other notable films by the director are The Illusionist, Divergent, Voyagers, and the top billed cast is Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro, Abby Cornish, and Andrew Howard. And those last two people were barely in the fucking movie. But this could have been a one-man show.
In the opposing corner, we have Phenomenon, 1996, director Neil Berger with his wife Emma Fries, I suppose. A budget 32 million, worldwide box office of 152 million, runtime of 123 minutes, IMDb score of 6.4. Rotten Tomato critics of 50%, audience of 66. Other notable films are National Treasure, Cool Runnings, and While You Were Sleeping, which, you know, all pretty good.
It's quite a resume, honestly.
Yeah, that's
a lot of range.
Man, and yeah, it's like that. Those are all hits. Like, I mean, I've personally watched Cool Runnings more than 4 or 5 times. Most of those against my will, but I've still watched it.
I've seen While You Were Sleeping quite a few times.
Yeah, and National Treasure is just, you know, fucking National Treasure. That's just like, oh, National Treasure's on. I can kill an hour and a half to this. Top build cast, we have John Travolta, Kira Sedgwick, Forrest Whitaker, looking very dapper and unsquinty in this. Super young.
Yeah,
baby
I
Forrest.
couldn't believe how young he was.
Yeah, this is a bunch of saplings. This ain't a forest. This is sapling.
He even
Whitaker.
sounds different. Like I don't know what Forrest Whitaker had been doing between movies, but every time I saw him, he was just more. By the time he was in Rogue One, it's like Jesus.
Yeah, no, he just looks like every movie he's had like a Vietnam in between, and like just come out the other side and does another movie. And Robert Duvall, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, God, I miss Robert Duvall. Playing the same guy he is in pretty much every movie, and I love him for it. The whole town's father figure, basically.
Yes, who is not above mooning a man on his birthday.
That was hilarious. I didn't even realize that was Robert Duvall until way later in the movie. I was like, wait, the dog did that. He has a pretty nice ass for his age.
Yeah, man, it's a good Robert Duvall ass, man. You gotta respect the Duvall ass.
Dude, I keep telling Jess she needs to watch Secondhand Lions, especially since he's dead now.
Yeah,
she's like, isn't that like a kids movie? I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you call it. It's fantastic.
No, it's a kids movie in the way like Homeward Bound is a kids movie. It's
like holes, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like more primal and deep than that, but a kid can't enjoy it, but parents can get definitely something out of it.
Dude, I was 12 years old and I was like, this is my favorite movie. And my parents were like, really? I was like, I don't know what it is. I just love it. It's wholesome. It's adventurous. It makes me happy.
Yeah. Got a fucking lion.
Yeah. What more can you ask for? And Haley Joel Osment or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah,
right?
Before his head grew and his face didn't.
That's great.
Some of the boys, and it's just like, what happened? Everything just went bland, but the face stayed here.
That poor bastard. I love when they have the cutest Hollywood kids and then they grow up and you're like, ugh.
The only one who's escaped that is Macaulay Culkin. He's grown up pretty normal looking.
Well, there was a period there though, but it was mostly drugs and alcohol.
Black fingernails and fucking spikes and all that shit.
When he was in Monster, I think it's called. That was,
then he married the chick
rough.
from Zack and Cody, and she seems to have him on the straight and narrow now.
Oh yeah, he's doing great. I think he was just on SNL and Fallout and everything.
Yeah. Apparently, he's going to be
great in Fallout
next season. Yeah, fuck yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna start with the plot of Limitless.
We have a cold open with our main character Eddie just kind of narrating about how he's kind of fucked.
Doing the classic, that's me. Bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, there's not a record scratch, but it's in your head. You hear the record scratch.
Yeah. Yep, standing on the ledge, bunch of banging and going on around behind him, and says something along the lines of, for a guy with a 4-digit IQ, which I don't, is that even possible?
I mean, that's in the thousands. Like, I think, like, I did okay, this is fucking me bragging, but like really stoned when I did the Mensa test and was 3 points under getting in, which was like 123 something.
Yeah, see, I thought like 160 was fucking incredible.
Yeah, 160 is like Einstein. Yeah.
But
I mean,
so what the fuck is 4-digit?
Yeah.
Was he being facetious or?
Well, that's like in Pokemon. It's just like Alakazam has like an IQ of 3,000. It's like, that is not possible. And also, why can I catch him in a ball if he can like fucking see in the future? What game is he playing? But yeah.
Says, now the only impact I'll have is on the sidewalk, and then we get our first trippy camera effect for Zoom.
Yeah, it's like we have, like, an image, and there's, like, a smaller image hidden in it in high definition and zooms in, it does that, like, 80 times, and the person I was watching the movie with, like, straight up almost vomited.
Dude, it's literally like zooming for eternity, and it's kind of
Yeah.
stressful because, even just your brain looking at the horizon, you understand it's far, but when you look at like this camera effect and you basically realize this is eternity, you go all the way around the unit, it's fucking stressful.
Yeah, well, it's like that shit from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We look into infinity all the time, we look up, so we get that, but, like, really big and really long fucks with our brains.
Yeah. That's weird, isn't it? Like I said, when I was a kid trying to comprehend eternity when my parents were super religious was like the most stressful thing on earth. Like we're not built
Mhm.
to our brains aren't built to be around forever.
No. Like, I mean, like, we I hope it's like the Indian thing where it's just like a drop back into the river and it's just like this fucking, like, unit consciousness, 'cause if I'm fucking Nick and I'm fucking sitting in a chair and for heaven for fucking ever, oh, no, please. How
Exactly.
do I not exist?
You know how dark that was, how macabre that was for an 8-year-old to be weeping and his dad my dad's like, "What is wrong?" I'm like, "I don't wanna live forever, I just wanna die." And he's like,
Yeah.
"What?" But then we go back in time. Lot of Bradley Cooper narrating in this movie. So he's just
Yes.
narrating, "This is me not so long ago." What kind of guy could look like he has a drug problem without actually having one? He's a writer. Those are the people that look
Mhm.
like they have drug problems.
Yeah, also, he kinda says he has a drug problem at some point. Is he stealing his grandma's Percocet? Like, something he mentions at one point. So I'm like, "Hey,
That was
that
Eddie. Not
oh, that was
Eddie, that
Eddie.
was Vern. Vern was
Oh,
stealing it. Yeah.
got it.
He should have had a drug problem. I really just think he needed
Yes.
ADD medication and he
Yeah.
would have been
Well, he
fine,
was
but
drinking a lot. He didn't have a drug problem when he
true.
was a fucking
Yeah.
alcoholic, which is, the writer is fucking cursed. But yeah, he's like he's been got like a book deal, and like he's talking to everyone at the bar about it. He's like, it's a sci-fi book, but it's like a comment on like 20th century and me and my dad, like all this shit like that. But
He even loses
no one
focus
cares.
as while talking about his book, he loses
Yeah.
focus on what he's saying. He's like,
Oh yeah.
and then, and I'm like,
No,
"Oh,
man.
boy."
Then again, undiagnosed. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, but it's just like, is this what Adderall feels like when you take the Limitless pill? Like,
100%. Yeah, most of my notes are like, "God, this is really a bad movie for an addict to watch," because yeah,
oh, yeah, but
it
he is
nails
a
it.
hardcore writer's block, like, fucking, like, hasn't written a word of this book that he's been contracted to write, and he's, like, spent all the fucking money that he's been forwarded for it,
Apartment looks
and,
like complete shit. It's
yeah,
nasty.
he's just like, "Work it out, don't leave the room, don't leave the room," and he just fucking leaves the room and goes to drink, and he's like, "Well, at least I still have my girlfriend," like, cut to, "I'm breaking up with you." It's just like fucking, like, his
Yeah.
life is just falling apart, like, one scene at a time.
I don't blame her. Even just from that brief scene, she looks like I'm like, I cannot imagine that woman being in that nasty apartment. Like,
Yeah, no, he's like, "This is such a surprise." She's like, "Really? It is?"
yeah.
Yeah, and even
And then
then he's like, how is your business going?" She's like, "Oh, really good." She's like, "I'm happy for you." It's just like, dude.
he mentioned something about how he was going to want to be with her forever. And she's like, that didn't really work out for you before. And shows some foggy memories about how he was married before. And I like the way how it like shows memories when he's not on NZT versus when he is on NZT. How it's all
Yeah, it's
like
like
foggy
fragmented,
and fading and everything. It's pretty cool.
inaccurate.
And he
Yeah, then
leaves
he
and runs into his ex-brother-in-law walking around the city who looks rich as fuck
mhm,
and
and he's like,
apparently used to be a drug dealer.
yeah, and he's like, "Come on, have a drink." He's like, "It's 2." He's like, "When does that stop to you?" It's like, "Fair point."
I love every time he deals with a remote amount of pressure, like to just do
Just
the
pulls.
thing, he does
Yeah.
it. Like when he's like, talking about how bad the pill is and how bad the downside was and how this is untested and everything, and then he's like, "You want some more?" He's like, "Absolutely."
Yep. But yeah, he goes in and he's like, "So, like, what's your deal?" He's like, I'm like, kind of pharmaceuticals, I guess now." And he's like, "Check out this pill," and he, like, puts, like, this little dot of resin in a baggie, which I do love how the pill looks. It's like this
Yeah,
little
the
crystal
perfectly
clear
clear. Yeah,
dot, and he's just like, "Yeah, this'll, make you like a genius." I don't even know, does he, like, tell him? Like, yeah, like, he tells him, it's like, this, like, amps you up, basically.
he describes it. I don't think he's paying attention at all, but he
Yeah.
says it activates specific circuits and literally says the line, "You know how we only access 20% of our brain, and then
Yeah. This is
lets you
the other
access all of
80%.
it."
Yep.
And he says it's
But again,
800, but
seizure.
800 a pop. You're welcome. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, but, I mean, yet again, if he's on the Limitless fucking ride, like, then fucking that's, like, nothing to him at this point, so.
True. Yeah.
And,
And then he asks about Melissa, his ex-wife, and basically says she's a fucking train wreck, and her husband left, and they had kids, and he took the kids too, and all this other shit.
yeah, which is, like, weird because his memory is, like, she was this, like, starlet, basically, that, like,
Right.
left him because she was, like, too good for him. He's like, "She was brilliant, really? Weird."
Yeah, instant foreshadowing that he doesn't pay attention to at all.
Yep.
But he gets home, pops the pill, and then starts walking up the stairs and runs into his landlord's wife, who is screaming at him like a lot. Like it's
Yeah, and I don't understand a single thing that she was screaming at him about, 'cause he's
No.
so unfocused, he can't even, like, key into what she's saying.
like when the pill kicks in while she's talking, and everything gets this really cool, like the way it
Fisheye
illustrates it throughout the
lens.
movie. It all gets
Yeah.
warmer tones immediately and shows his brain lighting up, sounds are clear, and he says, "I was blind, but now I see." And this is where I put, this is exactly what it feels like to take Adderall or Vicodin for the first time.
Yeah.
But even then, when it's like zooming away from her while she's screaming, I'm like, she's really screaming. This is like inappropriate levels of screaming at a
Yeah.
tenant.
Oh, and he prefaces it with, like, my fucking landlord's bitch wife, like, as he's coming up the stairs, and she just fucking enters, like, already in full Karen mode, like, the second she sees him, just, like, ripping into him for rent, I think, basically, so I could glean.
Yeah, I guess after what happens next, maybe she was just horny and
That too. But yeah, it's basically like instant introspection. Like he completely understands all of his flaws and like why
Right.
she's mad, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm a total piece of shit. I can completely see why you're mad at me. But that's
It really
like,
is the like perfect drug if it was a real thing. And
yeah,
yeah, he like snaps out of this whole thing showing him getting
fugue state,
brilliant
yeah.
and goes, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "What?" He sees basically says you must be stressed out because of your law paper or something. She's like, "How do you know that?" He's like, "Well, I saw that you had this law book." She looks at her bag. She's like, "You only saw the corner of it." And then it shows he picked it up from a memory of when he was trying to bang a TA. That book was on a table somewhere, and his memory
Yeah.
served it up for this
And he
moment.
flipped through it. Yeah, so he has like 100% perfect recall of anything he's ever seen. But beyond that, it's like stacking all the information and categorizing it and filing it together so it becomes like this like usable, actionable thing. Like,
Which is like just perfect recall is a superpower.
yeah.
But with everything else, like ultra learning and everything, it's fucking crazy.
I read a thing about this guy who had perfect recall, and he's like, it's great, but I also have to be very careful about what I consume media wise because I will never forget any detail of like any horror movie that I see or any bad thing that I see.
Well, I hope somebody with perfect recall wasn't on the internet in the early 2000s.
There was, and maybe that's why so many things are blowing up now. It's just like, no more, no more.
They saw the fucking Pain Olympics video and they're like,
Yeah.
nope, kill it all.
Sorry, one guy, one jar, and it's like, okay, all of
Yeah.
humanity deserves to burn. Yeah. Yeah, y'all kids are weak today with your fucking memes and shit. We were on the internet back when there was some really fucked up shit to be found by some 12-year-olds.
Really fucked up. The newest episodes of Last Podcast on the Left are about the Hammer Maniacs video. And I was like, wow, I haven't thought about that in 20 years. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's so jaded. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I found that at rotten.com years ago just while I was completely destroying my innocence.
Yeah. God, that was bad. I saw that in computer class in high school.
Yeah. Oh no, there was a point where like I had a friend, I'm like, dude, stop, because I don't want that shit on my IP address. Just fucking watch that shit other places. 'Cause
Yeah.
goddamn, like.
Yeah. But yeah, he starts spitting law facts to her, like you should use this book, you should listen to this guy to write your paper.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
and have this
then,
angle that no one else will have, and then she's like, she didn't stand a chance. It just shows her pupils like dilating and shit. And then like hard cuts to them banging in her apartment. It's like, and we worked on her paper too. It was really a gem.
He said,
Really
took
cool
45
stuff.
minutes. Then he walks into his apartment. He was like, I can't live here. This is like the perfect illustration of Adderall. The cleaning scene, dude.
Yeah.
You see like 12 of him around the apartment picking up everything. Yes, this is exactly what Adderall is like. And he says, I wasn't
Yeah.
wired. I wasn't high, just clear, knew what I needed to do and how to do it. And then he goes and writes an entire book. I'm like, all of this is Adderall.
I would do terrible things to several people for that level of clarity.
I think there's an episode of Community or some show where the guy discovers Adderall and writes a bunch of books and thinks he's a genius because he's pumping out book after book after book. And it was like, yeah, you can write a lot. It was just complete horse shit and no one understood it.
I know getting into the next movie, but I thought, how funny would the end of fucking Phenomenon be if like they're looking at the books like, this is all fucking meth adult nonsense. Like
that episode of It's Always Sunny where Charlie thinks he's a genius. It would have been great.
Gibberish.
This means nothing. Did nobody look into this before we fucking captured him and tested him?
Nobody did.
That would be so funny. I want that to be a skit now.
Yeah, there's a Saturday Night Live edit of that real easy if anyone cared about that.
So he works on his book. Wakes up the next morning, everything's gray tones again. Says, I sent a little
Yep.
probe down and no surge
It was
of
like,
brilliance came up to
the
greet
day
me.
after Molly. I know
Yep,
exactly what that feels like. It's like, oh, all the good
exactly.
chemicals have been wrung out of your brain and you feel like you want to die.
Yep.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yep. It literally, there was like 3 drugs I could think of where it's literally like, oh, everything's gray and sucks again.
Mm-hmm. Is it worse than it was before? It's worse than it was before. Oh shit.
Yeah. He goes and turns in what he has written of his book and says, read 3 pages. If you don't want to keep reading, I'll give you back the advance. And then as soon
Yeah.
as he gets home, he has voicemail after voicemail after voicemail from his agent. Says, I can't stop reading. Wait, how did you do this? Okay, come back in immediately.
Yeah, and he's like, I need more of that drug. So he goes back to his ex brother-in-law's and just starts that crackhead knock on the door. It's like, hey, you home? You home? Hey,
Yep.
hey.
He even says, not a good time. He's like, just open the door.
Yeah, his brother-in-law is like fucked up. He's had the shit beaten out of him by someone.
Yeah.
Not sure who.
And he still can't read it. You know, you don't care when you're on drugs, but he's like, yeah, I'm still coming in. And this
It
is
was-
what
it
he
was all-
says. He
yeah.
says, it doesn't sound FDA approved. And he was like, you really believe that shit? He's like, so what we have here is some untested dangerous drugs scammed out of some lab, given to me by a highly unreliable guy I haven't seen in years. He's like, so do you want some more? He's like, yes, definitely.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, well, I've got some dry cleaning needs picking up, and go get me some breakfast. And he's like, God damn it, he knows I'm his bitch, but I was.
Yep. I swear to God, this movie was made as an ode to addicts secretly, because this is
Oh,
every
100%,
bit of
yeah.
this feels like it.
No, this whole thing is a high functioning cocaine addict in the fucking
Yeah.
finance world. Like it's a whole analogy because they couldn't say cocaine and make it PG-13.
Right. So he goes, gets the dry cleaning and shit, and comes back, and the doors are still open. And
Yep.
apartment's trash, and Vern is dead.
Yeah, and there's like this moment where it looks like he's like going to check whether he's okay, but there's like a fucking like golf ball sized hole
big
in his
hole.
head. He's not okay, bro.
Perfectly illustrated addict. He takes a moment and like starts crying. He's like, Vern, and then he's like, the pills.
First he's an idiot.
Yeah.
He calls the cops.
Right.
He's like, there's been a murder at this address, and he's like, but the pills though, and at least has the presence of mind to put on some fucking like marigold fucking gloves and
Right.
starts fucking scouring the already raided apartment. So theoretically, he might get off scot free here, but he's running around, can't find it. And he's like, and he's looking at like the little takeout bag. He's like, God damn it! If you ever cooked, I'd been fucking dead. He's like, wait a minute. He goes into the pristine, unused, fucking markless oven and pulls up the drip tray and big old thing of like passports and money and then no drugs.
Yeah, big, huge bag, like vacuum sealed bag of pills. And
Yeah, hundreds.
I've only seen that one time in my life, and I gotta tell you, like, salivating at the mouth is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, I've been in that situation too, but it's also like there's like a fight or flight response where it's like, oh, we could die at any moment for this amount. Give me my 3 and let me leave.
That's what I'm saying, man. I had that opportunity, and it was like, here, take them. And I'm like, I don't feel like it's okay for me to have all I could ever want.
Yeah. It's like, I have limits for a reason. There you go. That's good. I'm poor.
Why don't we do the whole thing where I give you money, and then when I can't afford it anymore, I don't get any more?
This seems like a good way for everyone to end up dead for many reasons.
But yeah, he finds the pills, and right then the cops come and bring him in and question him.
And here's the
then
thing: is he would not have gotten those pills into the fucking police station. He just like
No
shoves
fucking
it down
chance,
like, the back
dude.
Of his pants.
Yeah.
And fucking frisks his ass. Like, oh, you were the only person at a murder scene. Okay, come. Yeah, you're cuffed. You're in a car. We're frisking you. Oh, what's the big bag of pills? End of movie.
A big bag of pills, cash, and a black book. Like,
Yeah. It's like,
and
oh,
you
killed him.
clearly
All right.
look like an addict.
Case closed. No more investigating needed.
Fucking insane. And then
Yeah.
Melissa calls his ex-wife while he's at the police station and asks about him, about Vern, and he's like, we should meet up, and she's like, absolutely not, goodbye. And then he has a paranoid walk home where he's looking at everybody thinking they're watching him.
And
And
it's pill time.
yeah, they play Black Keys at the perfect moments in this movie. And it's like, Black Keys, let's do some drugs and count this money, bitch.
Yeah, but just we go into like the cleanup montage where it's like I'm getting shaved, I'm getting a haircut, getting a suit, and not looking like a crackhead anymore. Woo!
And then he
And then,
finishes his book in 4 days, learns piano
Yeah.
in 3 days, says math became useful and fun, and shows him
Yeah. Then
kicking
he says the
ass at
thing. It's like,
poker
I
and
felt
shit.
limitless.
Yeah, he says the thing. I also like, during this montage, he's like running, becoming fluent in other languages, bangs this French
Yeah.
chick. He's like, I suddenly knew everything about everything. And it shows him talking to these stock bros. Everyone's blown away by him.
Yeah, he's
And
jet
then he,
setting around now. Yeah.
yes, so he ends up at this island mansion. Oh, where is this fucking island at? Wait a minute. This is 2011. On top
See
of all
some
my other
orange,
problems, I may have went to
orange.
Epstein's Island.
I could not have foreseen this. You see him open the wrong door, and all these math equations start going off in his head. Like, oh, I'm fucked.
Sees the future like in a brief moment, and it ends in Donald Trump, and he's like, oh no.
I must run for president. Shit, I got to prevent this. There we go. That's where it all ends up.
Shit.
I am the only one who can stop the orange menace.
He says, the only problem is if I wasn't moving forward, I felt like it was going to explode, and shows him jump off this huge cliff in front of everybody.
Stimulants, yeah.
And he says, I began to form an idea, suddenly knew exactly what I needed to do. Not books, much bigger than that, but it would take money to get there. So, like, my question is it right here that he sees all the way to the end of the movie? Or is he just like, I need to go get good at stocks?
I don't know if he sees the end of the movie, but, like, I almost feel like he's, like, basically his personality is getting overridden, like, and he doesn't really realize it in a weird way. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, all his wants and needs and desires and loves and all this shit just completely, like, flips. Like, he doesn't care
Yeah.
about any of his fucking
Doesn't
previous
care about
things.
books at all anymore.
Yeah. Like, I think it's just that's the point where, like, his brain is, like, kinda switching from Jekyll to Hyde kind of a thing, where it's just, like, it's the other personalities becoming dominant. Every time it's off, it's like we see his, like, fucking he's dying and shit,
Yeah.
so, like
Yeah, that's a good analogy. But yeah, when he says I knew what I needed to do, it was much bigger. I didn't know if that meant like I'm going to go become huge on Wall Street, or by the end of this, I'm going to be running for Senate.
Yeah.
I don't know
Maybe God
exactly how
Emperor by the
far
end of
ahead
this,
he was
like, I don't know,
thinking.
man.
But yeah, but yeah, then it shows him getting really good at stocks. I love the effect they do where he leans back in his chair and you see the stock
Yeah.
tiles on his ceiling.
Flip it on the head. Yeah, he did that with his when he's writing his book too, like, all the fucking letters were
Right.
dropping Matrix style on all the furniture and shit. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's great displays of intellect in this. It's really interesting.
And starts doubling, tripling his money, and he keeps going back to the little container for his pills. And I was like, the addict in me is already panicking about how empty that jar is getting.
Mhm.
Like, you need to chill out.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, like, by the end of this, he's got, like, a fucking, like, sandwich baggie left of them, like, maybe a
Right.
little warm. It's like, you were cutting it close, homie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you should have prioritized how to make more of this way sooner.
Yeah, that should have been, like, step one is, like, how can I fucking, with my infinite brain power, fucking make this?
Right. He says he's making money, but it's too slow. He needs more capital. Meets up with a Russian loan shark, and I love this guy in this
Yeah.
movie. He reminded me
Well,
of Nico from GTA 4.
Yes, yes. No, it's basically this whole movie is like he buffed his intelligence stat, but his fucking wisdom skill is like -5 still the whole fucking
Yes.
movie. He's got like no like he knows everything, but just like how to apply it is very bad. It's
And
like,
can't like think remotely into the future about how some of it, like anybody could have told you using a loan shark will be bad.
yeah, and like he also like forgets about the loan shark, which is like, dude,
Yeah.
know everything and remember everything. Like, fucking get that done like day one. Like, fucking give him like here's $100,000, here's $50,000 on top of that. Have a good day, sir.
Right.
And
Could've
then
done it so
make it back
fast.
tomorrow. Yeah.
But the guy's like, I don't even like you. Why would I give you $100K? And he was like, look, I quintupled my money 4 days in a row. And starts showing him like a stock plan. He was like, so you have a fix on a game? He's like, no. And then like, but just look at this. And then he's like, okay, you're good. I have a fix on a game. And like, just like,
Yeah,
fine,
it's
you
like,
got
you're,
it.
you're too dumb to understand this. So yeah. Fine.
He even says, all you people always get caught. He's like, it's not like I have a black book with your name in it. I'm like, damn, dude, why even mention that? And he meets him up with the cash and says, if you don't pay, I cut you at the waist, peel your skin up over your head and tie a knot. You don't die from this. You suffocate.
Really casually said, like, just like, yeah, like this is what will happen. It's not a threat. It's just, letting you know the future.
I love this guy.
Yeah,
And
then the
some
next
more-
scene is like, I'm opening my dose. I'm just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
always a good thing.
Yep. As soon as the showed him taking two at once, I'm like, oh no. Gets in at a day trading firm. At the end of the week, he had over $2 million. Word got out quickly. Credit line went up. 4 job offers. Reporter from the Post, and Kevin gets him a meeting with Carl Van Loon, who's a
Mhm.
big money mogul. Who is Robert
Nobody
De
gets to
Niro.
see Carl Van Loon.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he goes to flex on his ex.
Yes, dude. And it works.
Oh yeah. It's just like she kind of like comes up to him. She's like, he's like all put together and like in this nice fancy restaurant and
Orders in
speaking, like,
French or
yeah,
Italian.
orders in Italian and like making jokes and the woman laughs and she was just like fucking pupils dilate, like leans in. She's like, what the fuck?
He says we started up again, and then it just shows them banging and making out everywhere.
hmm
And then she's reading an article to him about he's Houdini, prophet of our time, he's God. And
Yes.
I'm like, again, with the wisdom thing, you should not be in headlines. That should be the last thing you want right now.
You should be a fucking shadow broker giving fucking tips to other people and fucking they give you a percentage or some shit like that.
Exactly.
Like that. He has no street smarts. He's just fucking is like, I know how to do everything. So I'm going to do everything in blatant, open view of everyone. And he's just like, there's no way that anyone else could know what this drug is or have access to it or anything like that.
Exactly. Like the fact that there's so many times where I'm like, oh, well, that person probably has the drug. He just doesn't even,
Yep.
notices someone watching them while he's kissing. This is the guy I end up referring to as Creepy Terminator.
Yeah. I call him Stalker Man.
And he's watching out the window all paranoid, gets dizzy, and then all of a sudden he's in the hallway, hearing a ringing noise. He blacked out, doesn't know how he got here. And then we're meeting with Robert De Niro, and he's explaining how he made all this money, his pattern recognition. And I love this line. He says, why are we talking to this guy with delusions of grandeur? And he's like, I don't have delusions of grandeur. I have a literal recipe for grandeur.
Yeah, and he's basically, look, you're trading stocks in ways that I haven't seen before, so I'll give you a fucking shot, basically.
Right.
It's the whole, just
Yeah,
that
gets in
scene.
the car and he's like, look at these companies and tell me what you think. And after looking at him for like 5 seconds, figures out he's doing a merger. And he's like, who the fuck have you been talking to? He's like, I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah, and he's like, you are either an amazing con artist or a very smart young man, so, all right.
And then drops him off. He's walking around all smiley, thinking about his future plans. And then we start getting a bunch of weird laggy effects. And he has gone 20
Yeah.
blocks and then 50 blocks and then sees himself. They do that a lot in this movie where, like, when you
Yeah,
first take
like-
the pill, they, like, look at yourself. And then apparently when you're losing your shit, you look at yourself.
Yes. And then he's just like downtown, midtown, uptown, and then he's just like in an action movie for some reason.
That part was kind of cool. It reminded me of like Chuck though, where it's literally like the I know kung fu from the Matrix.
Yeah.
Starts remembering
Yeah.
every fucking Bruce Lee movie, every Ali fight, History Channel self-defense, and beats the hell out of these guys.
Yeah, but it's like not elaborated like what he did or what was said prior. It's just like he wakes up like mid-fight basically.
Right.
And as he's going, you're seeing like he's still cognizant in these blackouts. Like he's like talking to people and like, having drinks
Right.
and fucking going.
Yeah, it shows
places
him
and shit.
beat the shit out of these people, and then he's dancing with this chick and banging her. He's still with Lindy, by the way.
Yeah.
Hooks up
It's
with a chick and then goes to a hotel and hooks up with a model chick. And then, like you said, he's standing around the party, like telling people shit, but it's kind of like cokeheads. You could be completely out of it and just spitting shit a mile a minute. And then he sees that dude following him again. And he's up on top of the bridge the next morning, like whatever that bridge is in New York. He's standing on the very
Brooklyn
top
Bridge or
of.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. And he says,
Then
when
he
it
blacks
finally
out again
stopped,
and-
I couldn't account for the last 18 hours of my life. And
Yeah. Wakes up like in his bed at home looking fucking like strung out as fuck.
dude, it hurt. He's like trying to go through the files from Carl for this meeting without NZT. He's like, it was like hieroglyphs to me. And then he's just puking and gray. And I'm like, I hate this. I'm like, don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, and he still thinks like I can do the meeting without the pills, and just goes to the meeting looking like fucking death, and he's just stuttering through the entire thing and can't answer a single question.
And they mention here, but he's not paying attention because he's all fucked up. And they're like, what do you know about Hank Atwood? And he's like, I know he owns half of Colorado. And the guy says he was nowhere 2 years ago and comes out of nowhere, just meteoric rise. I'm baffled. And I'm like, hello.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and he's just like, something like, I gotta go, and he just like goes out and just fucking hurls in the fucking lobby.
Yeah, because while they're talking, he sees that model chick from last night has been murdered.
Yes. Could have been him. We'd never really find out. Well, I guess no. You know what? I don't think it was. I think it was a bit of a conspiracy.
It was.
Soccer dude. Yeah, 5 minutes. Well, yeah, we'll get there. Because I didn't catch any of that shit the first time I watched this, but I was also like,
same.
17.
I'm saying this is what I'm saying. Like I forgot about that whole plot point and just moved on from it and never wondered who did that. And then this time around, I was like, oh, but yeah, he gets a phone call from Melissa, basically asking, did Vern give you any stuff because it's really bad? And they meet up to talk about it. And he pulls out a black book while he's waiting and calling all the other people that took NCT.
Yeah, it's like dead, dying. It's like shit.
Yeah. And then he calls the last number, and a phone starts ringing behind him, and he turns around, and it's Creepy Terminator.
Soccer Man, yeah. And he activates Terminator mode and doesn't quite get it, but is like literally running over fucking crash cars and shit to try to get at this fucking dude.
He's scary athletic. Yeah, the way he runs, too, just fucking full. But yeah, he jumps in a cab, causes a car accident, and gets away. And then meets up with Melissa, and she also looks like a crackhead. So does Eddie at this point.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
she's,
she
like,
tells him
blind
she
in one
just
eye and, like yeah. But, yeah, basically just like, "Yeah, this is, gonna kill you, and if you don't stop, it's gonna kill you. If you stop immediately, it will also kill you."
right. And yeah, she says it's been 2 years since she took it, and she still is like this. And it's like, oh my God. Also, I'm
Yeah.
hoping at the end of this movie that he went back and found her and gave her the.
Yeah, fixed her, I hope, yeah, because
Yeah,
dear God, yeah. "Well, I got my shiny new girlfriend, you know, and she
right.
her kids over there, it's fine."
Yeah, tells him Taper will die, and she doesn't know who makes it. And then when he gets home, a Russian guy grabs him, smacks him around because he hasn't given him the
Yeah,
money. He
and also
drops the
that was
pill and
that was
go
where I
for it.
figured out the drugs cause limping because like, I saw her fucking limping away, and he's fucking limping, and it's like, I've never seen a drug with side effect is limping.
Right. Unless all of them got into a Bruce Lee fight and got their knee kicked in. I don't know. That's just part of the drug experience.
Yeah. "Oh, you had your Bruce Lee last night?" "Oh, shit, I had mine Tuesday."
The Russian guy sees him drop the pill. He picks it up and takes it. He's like, "This must be some good shit." And I like how he like slaps his neck when he swallows the pill. Russians do such
Yep.
weird, cool shit.
Well, it's because like, you know, whatever pills you took in Soviet era Russia are, like, covered in arsenic to keep the fucking plague away or something. You have to slap it off your neck just to survive. Like, I don't know, it's just some old fucking some reason for something long dead that no longer needed by medical science.
But he goes out of the bank with his money and he's like, "I feel good, man. What's in this stuff?" Like, oh Jesus, you fucking made the mobster smart.
Yeah, but it's weird too, like, how would you, like, experience that without knowing the context of it makes you super smart? Like, you have to figure it out slowly over time, but, like, "Wait, I can do math now? Fuck."
And in his context, he was like, "I could sell way more drugs."
Yeah, I could be the best drug dealer ever. Because one of the things the ex-brother, in-law says earlier is like, "If the smarter you are, the better it works."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so he's kinda dumb to begin with. He's just like, you know, kind of like criminal mastermind level instead of like God
Exactly.
savant.
Yeah. And then his aspirations are just being a businessman, essentially.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Import, export. Yeah, it's
yeah.
fun.
He goes to Lindy's office, completely falling apart, passes it, like falls over in her office, is like, "I need my pills," and tells her everything. She goes to get him and then calls and says someone's following her and it's Terminated guy.
Mhm.
And then yeah, she takes off, he's chasing her,
Yeah, chases her
and
into Central Park, and
yeah.
he's, like, hiding among the rocks that are in every fucking movie that have Central Park in it.
And these two the most New York guys ever in this movie. She's like, "I need help," and they're like, "Hey buddy, leave the lady alone." He just stabs the shit out of
Yeah, fucking she's good for being a good Samaritan, you know? Don't help anyone.
Exactly. And she's hiding behind the rock, and Eddie on the phone is like, "Take one of the pills. You'll know what to do." And she's like, "How am I going to think my way out of this?" He's like, "Just fucking take it." And then, yeah,
Yeah,
she
he
takes
takes it.
it, sees herself, gets the warm tones, and then she immediately eyeballs a pair of sheaths, a baseball bat, and then little kid skating. And I'm like, why
Yeah.
was that?
Look who's skating. And she sprints down to the ice rink, and also it's like, there's, like, dozens of people. Why'd you lock into that one little girl? It's like, "Oh, I can pick that one up, I guess, maybe," but,
I
like
guess, but also I
yeah,
don't element of surprise. Why is that the best
yeah.
weapon? I don't know.
I mean, I guess the only blade around, I guess, to put him down, like, everything else is awkward and might not have the advantage, like, a
Right.
bat that versus a knife is not a good fight, and neither is
True.
shears versus a knife, yeah.
Also, I
But, like
thought she slit his fucking throat when this happened. I
me
forgot that
too,
it's just his
that's my
face.
memory, yeah, my memory is his fucking head almost came off, but I guess that's, you know, time and hope, but, yeah, no, she, like, grabs the little girl from her dad, and she's all in pink and just, like, whips her around, like, slashes his fucking face open, and just that girl's gonna be traumatized forever now, just
And that dad, when he comes home to his wife, like, "What happened? You will not believe this shit."
Your daughter, like, split the face open of a 6-year-old Terminator? I don't know.
She gets back, pops a pill in Eddie's mouth. He starts like slowly blinking online and basically leaves him. And is like, he says, "I'm back." And she's like, "That wasn't you. This is you. Like,
Mhm.
I did things I would never do when I took that." Like, she's the only sane person in this fucking movie.
Yep.
And he's like, "Imagine the life we could live a year from now." And she's like, "You'll just have to live it without me." And leaves. And he
Yeah, and he
sees,
does the classic, "I have a plan to get off of it, though."
oh,
Just, you
yeah,
know.
dude, hearing that line hurt my soul. He was like, "I swear I'm going to get off." And I'm like, "Just stop talking. Please just stop talking." Ah, Jesus. Sees the Russian dude out the window just chilling and walks up beside him.
Yeah.
and he demands pills, so he gives him 3, and he is like, fuck off, leave me alone forever. And then he hires these 2 big ass security guys. And I'm like, that's the shit I would do if I was rich. I don't know why that's so cool to me, but just having 2 giant badasses walking around behind you at all times, it's
You
fucking
thought your own
awesome.
big.
Yes,
Your own big black
exactly.
who's walking behind you being homie and kicking people's asses.
Yes.
Yeah, then
Goes
you
back
just
to Carl's office.
get the second chance with him.
Yep. I like this part. He figures out how to maintain. He says he figures out how to maintain an even dose and not black out. And then he's at a tailor and he says, I want you to put an imperceptible compartment in all my suits, which was like some Batman level shit. I thought that was super cool. And then it totally
also would've-
doesn't work.
Yeah. I also would have done like some body armor too, personally. Just like Kevlar in there
Yes.
too while we're at it.
You watched the new Daredevil show ever?
No, not yet. I saw the old one. Like I saw the old 2 seasons. I didn't see 3 and I haven't done the new one.
So the old ones is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The part where Wilson Fisk gets his suits lined with what Daredevil's armor is made out of. That was
Exactly.
dope.
Yeah.
He's talking to this chemist trying to figure out how to make it. Guy says he needs 12 to 18 months. He says, I'll give you $2 million if you can do it in 6.
He's like, okay.
Runs into the detective from Vern's murder again and says, a witness ID'd you in that model's murder. And then he hires a super lawyer and it literally shows him walk in and walk out and it's over.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking rich people, dude.
Yep.
They're at the merger meeting with Hank Atwood, the guy that is definitely taking NZT, but nobody's put that together. Eddie notices something about him, like he just seems sickly and is limping.
Yeah,
The limp.
Lee McCain's like, he's 60. He shouldn't be that fucking decrepit at this point.
Gets 45 million from Carl for a job well done, and Carl says, you're gonna stay working for me, you can't just skip steps, blah 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 blah, and I'll open a line of credit for you now, you'll be wanting a few toys. And I was like, God, I would give anything to hear those words.
But he's giving this like whole fucking speech basically where it's just like, you're like flaunting your powers and you haven't earned this shit, so fucking chill.
It basically says you don't have the wisdom to know that you're doing too much. I'm like, he's not wrong.
Nope.
Sees the Russian again. Sorry, before that he comes back and his
bunker.
hotel is ransacked, so he gets the bunker apartment, which doesn't fucking, again, not worth it.
Well, that's the whole thing, dude. It's like there's nothing that's proof. There's only things that are resistant.
Right. And I thought when they were like showing the vault door and everything, it was like a panic room, not the front door to his apartment. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, what good
And
does that
panic
do you?
room fucking suck balls. Like, you get to later, but it's like, but 9mm can open your panic room. It's a shitty panic room. My closet's better than your panic room.
He sees the Russian again in a super nice suit now. He goes, next week I need 20 pills. He goes, next week you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like,
First
it's like,
time
okay,
being...
I'll tell everyone about, I'm just like, I'll tell everyone about all your shady fucking dealings. How about that? He's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Should have seen that coming.
He says there's very few problems that are on Earth that $40 million can't solve, and tomorrow Atwood would sign the papers. And of course, Atwood doesn't show up. Wife shows up and says he's fucking dying.
Yes.
Oh, and then he sees that the guy opening the car door for her is Terminator guy. And that's when he figures it out. He said, Atwood won't get better because he's out of NZT. And he said, how many other meteoric rises are because of NZT? I'm like, probably all of them, dipshit.
Yep.
And then this is where it happens. He shows up. His lawyer takes him to show up in a lineup for murder. He hands his suit jacket to him. I'm like, idiot.
Yep.
He says the guy didn't have a clue. He was dithering, hands him his jacket back. And this is beautiful. Did you have this made? And I'm like, hello.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I mean, if anyone that's ever had drugs, the first thing you do is you check that pocket to make sure the bag's there. If it's not, you fucking grab the dude who had it last and take you my goddamn drugs.
And I wouldn't have given it to him. I would have been like, hang on, and go to the bathroom, put the shit in a pocket.
Yeah. Or like, I'll put it to the side in the fucking room in here so fucking we're all the same. Like, just, no.
Fucking ridiculous. He gets, there's stock news about the merger. Carl asks if he's been talking to anybody. Atwood's in a coma. He's starting to get sick from not having his NZT and goes into the bathroom to take it, and that's when he realizes it's not in his jacket. And the secretary is like, we have this box for you. And it says hand delivery on the box. And I'm like, I know exactly what's in the box. It's the hands of his security guards. I'm like, how did you not notice your security guards weren't with you anymore?
I mean, they told him, it's like, I don't want to know you're there. So I mean, it was like, you didn't notice when they were gone. And he then realizes, looking up, because there's another note in the news that Atwood is dead, and his wife comes out and says, like, there's never going to be a merger. like, nothing like that, and then, like, the lawyer that, like, was his lawyer comes up, so, like, Atwood's
Right.
lawyer was in on the whole thing along with Senor Terminator.
Right. Yes. Yep. And then he, realizes he's the one that took it. And then his doorbell rings and the security cameras are down. But right before the last one goes down, he sees the Russian. And yeah, we're back at the beginning of the movie. He's on the ledge. They're chainsawing in. And he remembers he has one left in the old tin can. Kills me, dude. It's like pills are magnets to open
Mhm.
holes, toilets, everywhere they shouldn't go.
Sink drains, yep.
Yes. Fucking killed me. Yeah, he pulls it out, drops it, and goes down the grate. I'm like, dude.
Mhm.
And then yeah, he
Russian
comes
kicks the
in,
door in, no
says
time to fucking get it.
says you're gonna tell me where it is, and he's also you don't even do it right, and he starts putting it into a needle and shoots it up, and he's like it lasts much longer. I'm like
Yeah, and you actually look
Jesus.
around, and you realize that he's been giving it to his fucking goons because his goons are all fucking, like, withdrawing,
Yeah.
and, like, one's, like, fucking got cataracts and shit in one eye, and, like, they're all fucking, like, fiending and shit. And he's like, "Okay, so one of two things are gonna happen. One, I'm gonna rip the apartment apart. These guys are gonna find it. Two, I'm gonna hurt you so bad you're gonna tell me where it is. So which one's gonna happen first? Let's find out."
Yeah. And this is
Gets on
where
a
he
real cool
says,
night set.
I'm getting out of this business, starting an export business. And then he goes, back in old times, I'd fillet you, fillet. Such a nice word. I didn't know this before. It's like poor vocabulary. I'm like, you still have a shitty vocabulary.
Yeah.
This is
Still
what an
learning new
idiot
words,
gets the
like, yeah.
genius drug. And then yeah, he fucking stabs him. Eddie stabs him, and he's like, only NZT could help, and the last of it's in his blood. I'm like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
And he does. He starts lapping up his blood like a fucking vampire.
It's like, cool, you have NTZ, but you probably also have a bunch of diseases now.
Yeah, dude. He's been using needles for Christ's sake. The thugs get the safe open and just find the bodyguard's hands. He pretends to be dead, and the bad guy flips him over and he fucking stabs him in the eye, his good eye, with a needle.
The needle, yep.
And basically trips him into shooting his friend, and then he kills him with a piano. He says police would later note that the previous owner was an arms dealer, and these were clearly disgruntled clients.
Yep. It cuts to the hospital, and it's like a senior Terminator sitting there all sad. And
I thought that was kind of funny. Like,
yeah. He's like, He's like, so, your
you want to
lawyer
know
was
who
supposed to show
fucking
up with all
killed
the
your boss?
drugs. Yeah. He's just like, yes. And it's like, now he's like, now his boss was dead. I didn't fucking matter. And he was a little mad at the lawyer for not coming with the drugs.
Right.
He shows the lawyer like hogtied and fucking gagged in his office. And shit.
I'm surprised he wasn't dead. I typed he kills the lawyer and rewound. I'm like, oh, he's alive.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to kill the lawyer. It's just not yet.
And yeah, he finds a big sack of pills. Lawyer barely took any of them, apparently. And
oh, dude, it's so funny. It's like there's like this massive sack of cash. And he's like, useless. Just toss it aside. And he's like, pills, yes.
yes. And he goes, it was all still possible. And now we're 12 months later. And I was like, what, are we talking about babies? Just say it's a fucking year. Why is it 12 months?
Yeah. Yeah. You might notice. My roommate noticed that. It's like, why 12 months? That's weird.
You see a bunch of signs. Edward Mora for Senator of New York. I think it's Senator.
Yeah, it's Senator.
Guy from Iben Chemcore is in your office, and he goes in there, and it's Carl.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you worked for them." It's like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting out of energy and getting into chemicals."
Yeah,
and,
he says, "Surprised you didn't hear." And he says, "We both know where it's headed if you can't maintain." And he says, "You ever ask yourself what you're going to do if it runs out?" And he's like, "How did you know? Doesn't matter. Know now." They basically go back and forth, and says, "We shut down your lab this morning, but we'll keep you supplied in return for some favors, because basically we think you're going to be president, and we want presidential favors. And we want to keep you smart and healthy, and don't worry about all that right now. Let's go get some lunch." And right when they go out to the car, this is the big crescendo. I've seen clips of this 100 times, but he's getting into the car and stops. He's like, "Thanks for coming by, Carl." And he goes, "You want to be president or you want to be brain dead?" And then he says, "I told you we shut down the lab." And he's like, you don't think I would have made 3 or 4 labs? He's like, "Doesn't matter. You're not making it anymore." He's like, "That's right. I thought better of it. I worked out the kinks. I'm off of it." And he's like, "But you don't think that I kept some synapses firing, Carl?" And he was like, it says van back there, right behind the cab. They're not looking at the road. They're looking at their phone. He's going to crash into him in 3, 2. I'm like, okay, that's a little insane. That wasn't even happening when you were on the pills.
Yeah. I mean, he's got better fucking shit now. He's just fucking
True.
clear and pure. Yeah, just fucking rewired his own brain.
And he says, on it or off it, there's no scenario where you don't work for me. He's like, how are you going to pay me in cigarettes? He's like, last year you insider traded 17 times and list all these other crimes he did. And he goes, no way you can make accusations like that and still be walking around. And he's like, you even saying that shows how unprepared you are to fight me. I may be off of it, but you don't think I didn't learn anything? Kept absolutely nothing? And then he puts his hand on his chest and feels his heart and tells him he's going to need a heart
Yeah.
replacement. He's like, but you already knew that, didn't you? He said, you should be glad. Me working for you, you'd end up as my bitch. And then De Niro gets into the car and is like, we just cool off and we meet again later. He's like, I don't think so. Don't forget to vote, and slams the door on him. Cold as fuck. And then it ends with him having lunch with Lindy. And they worked out, I guess. I don't know if he gave Lindy like the perfect version of the drug or she accepted him on the drug, because like that doesn't solve any of the issues she had with it.
No. He orders something in like Mandarin or something, and
yeah, and she looks at him and he's like, what? And I'm like, seriously though, what? You already knew he could do that. You've literally seen him do that.
I mean, the movie just ends and nothing was learned, and there was no repercussions for rampant drug use. He just figured it out. It feels like, again, there's another ending to this movie after the 12 months later bit.
For sure. Well, there was a show after this that like continued the story kind of with another character, but when he's a senator and like gets this guy starts doing NZT and he's like involved in the show. It's really dumb, but yeah. It does continue more of his story on the side there.
I don't know. What's that at least?
Much different opening for Phenomenon. One thing I don't miss about the 90s at all is a 3-minute opening credit scene.
Oh, there's a couple scenes in this movie where I'm like, why are we focusing on this for so goddamn long? Talk specifically about the shaving scene, but
oh yeah. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of painting shots of a farm for 3 minutes. And I'm like, literally like, oh my God, is this still going?
Yeah, my first note, so the first 5 minutes, open on a farm. Kitty.
Ooh, bunny.
Yeah. Then after fucking like walking through like all of the fucking Green Acres fucking intro, we get to fucking
I was thinking of Little House on the Prairie. That's awesome.
Yeah, we get to John Travolta, who I kept all the people in this one. I just kept putting their fucking actors' names, so I don't know.
I tried really hard. He's George. Yeah. I thought it was funny because his name is George Malley, and I kept wanting to say George O'Malley. I'm like, who names the last name Malley? That's not a thing.
Well, they wanted to take the Irish off back in the 40s, you know,
back when Irish was just inappropriate.
Yeah, when they were the lowest rung of the social ladder.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's mad at his bloodhound for not catching a rabbit in his nice little fenced-off garden in the front of his house.
Right. His dog's name is Attila, which I thought was funny. But yeah, then we meet his friend Nate, played by Forrest Whitaker, who brings over solar panels and batteries. And I was like, we had this in the 90s?
Yeah, no, he's like getting here for free for his birthday. Like, fucking just like,
how do you have this hookup? And why was everyone not using this back then? My God.
Yeah, and he's bitching about it too. He's like, why you bring these fucking solar panels? Who the fuck's gonna set them up? You're just giving me a fucking project. I'm too dumb to fucking do any of this.
He's like, it'll save a fortune on your power bill. And he's like, whatever. And I'm like, listen to him. All of you assholes would have just listened. We wouldn't be here. We just had the warmest winter in Colorado history because of you.
Yep. So I got diesel generators in the background 24/7. What's the problem?
Shows him working at the auto shop trying to learn Spanish.
Yeah, and his fucking friend keeps like Spanish cock blocking him. He's like, oye, it's like a don de vas. It's like, stop, man, I'm trying.
Yeah, I think it's like the boss there. His name is Tito. And then we meet Lace, played by Kira Sedgwick. They have weird names in this movie, man. Fucking Mally, Lace, like it's all just short of an actual name.
That's why I just kept fucking saying the fucking actors' names. It was fucking so hard to fucking keep everything. Who, I don't know if you can have anti-sexual energy, but that's what this is. It's like the whole movie, she's like, don't fucking touch me. And she's just like, oh, that's just, means you want me to touch you, right? Yeah, it's fine. It's
big Bill Clinton vibes.
Yeah.
And they're all giving him shit too. And one of the guys says, what does she have anyway, other than some corny chairs? I'm like, what does she have? Who says that about a woman?
Yeah.
He also tries to invite her to his birthday party, and then we see Doc's ass. They're like, Doc has something in the window he wants you to look up and see. And the blinds say happy birthday, and he pulls it up and just butt cheeks.
And yeah, when you find out Doc is Robert Duvall, a fucking like 70-year-old man, it just makes it funnier.
It does.
Man still has a zest for life. You got to give it to him.
And she says no to his party, gets in her truck. It sounds like shit. And he goes, I would love to get my hands on your carburetor. She's like, I bet you would. And I'm like, ew, guys, ew.
But yeah, she's selling chairs that are
Yeah.
honestly terrible. Like
Yeah.
it's
They're like a
this is like made
combination
from like
between wicker and actual sticks, and they look like
yeah, it's
shit.
like made from looks like green wood that's just gonna fall apart in like a day or something. It's not good. It's got very like pure one emporium on a bad day, like kind of vibes.
They're at the bar. Everyone ever is here for George's birthday.
Everyone's drinking and smoking like in the 90s.
It's beautiful. He brings him a chest forward for his birthday. Nate, Forrest Whitaker, it's already fucking wasted. And
Yep.
everyone like really loves George. He just seems to be like the kindest person ever. Everyone he knows is here. And I'm like, this guy is legit living the dream. Like
Yeah.
it's just a
Like he
small
doesn't need
community.
fucking space powers. Like the movie's
Right.
done here. He's fulfilled and self-actualized. We're done.
Exactly. He walks outside with his buddy going home and then
Yeah.
cheers
And also
the
it's like
sky for his birthday.
yeah, beyond that too, we also have the 90s view on fucking drinking and driving because they're all fucking shit-faced witches like, you good to drive, man? Like, yeah. This fucking drives off in the darkness like, all right, fuck. I guess
I
Matt
will
didn't
say,
exist yet.
don't condone drinking and driving at all, but when you're in really tiny towns like this, nobody fucking cares. Like,
Yeah.
you're driving on a
Gotta hurt-
straight road to your house.
I know in Ireland you can drink as drunk as you want, or you can drive as drunk as you want as long as you don't go on main roads.
Yeah, that's what
Keep
I'm
it
saying. It's all a straight
Yeah.
road in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like,
You're gonna like worst is gonna happen is some corn is gonna die.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, he cheers the sky for his birthday and then sees a bunch of floating lights in the sky. And then one like explodes at him and he like passes out and wakes up a few seconds later.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes back to the bar.
Yeah, it's like, did anyone see that? Hear that? Everyone's like, no, didn't see or hear anything. He's like, oh, weird. And he's just like absent-mindedly kicking the doctor's ass and chests like while he's doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, he checkmates him and Robert Duvall looks stunned. And then Baines, his good buddy in the background, was like, would you let him win for his birthday, dog? He's like, I didn't let him win. And she's like, you're kind of pissed off about it, aren't you? And then he goes home, can't sleep, and calls Nate and says, I figured it out. We fenced the rabbit in when we put the fence up. I'm like, you needed fucking superpowers to figure that out? And goes outside and just
he was
leaves the
starting
gate
at a low
open.
level. He's going up like 10 IQ a day.
He just goes out and opens the fence and sits there and watches the rabbit leave. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. That was the big realization.
Then it cuts to the next day, like as mechanic, and like we've all seen that episode of a TV show where it's like, well, if I do X for Jim and Jim does Y for Jerry and Jerry does Z for Bill and then Bill does A for me, then we all get to have our things. He does what normally takes like a 30-minute sitcom, like 3 seconds. Like he's like, I already set it up and just fucking, yeah, it's all done.
Yeah, guy needs his truck fixed and it turns into him getting his solar panels put in. And I don't really understand what the purpose of that scene was. It doesn't really illustrate any kind of intelligence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's
like,
just he can abstract things very easily and find weird solutions.
But in a small town, I feel like people do that shit all the time, you know? I don't feel like I know I lived there.
Yeah, but I guess it's the fact he did it so quickly and with such efficiency that like, was interesting. He also now knows perfect Spanish.
Right.
And, like the owner of the truck, the gas or the mechanic's like, I think he knows Spanish better than I do now. Fuck.
Yeah.
And, then
Casually
we see
uses telekinesis for the first time.
It's like, oh, wrench, but just like doesn't see it and register that he's done it. And his telekinesis does kind of suck in this. Like it's like there's one cool thing and everything else is like, I can move a paperclip.
Well, and I wonder how much of that though was because it was 1996 and this wasn't budgeted to be a big sci-fi movie, so they couldn't show him.
What's the budget? We have a string. Okay.
I tell you what, I would have rather seen it like this than some horrible 90s CGI moving big stuff around. Goes out to Lace's truck. And the kids are in there by themselves. Pops it so he could look at it. She gets back before he can fix it.
He is way too casual with these children. Like,
yes, I agree. And I don't know if that was because things were more wholesome in the 90s or because nobody was worried enough. Probably both, but
a little bit of both. Yeah, but he's just like, hello, unattended children. Let me have a full-on conversation with you, even though your mom fucking hates my guts.
All right. And she comes up and says, I saw she says, you lived here your whole life. He says, how do you know? Said, someone in the store said, I've known George all my life. And if he said he saw a UFO, he saw a UFO. He's like, I didn't say it was a UFO.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. I didn't say that. Just the light. She's like, where are you going? It's like, I'm going to some like thing in San Francisco or San Diego or something.
Yeah.
San Diego? San Francisco. She's like, okay, can I come with you? She's like, no. And then this fucking
literally giving him no other than the weird carburetor line, like no inkling that she's remotely interested, dude.
Yeah. No, it's just like honestly, like it would like if a restraining order appeared in this fucking step the next day, it would make total
Right.
sense. Like, she's
Yeah.
fucking treating this guy.
Then we see him playing chess with the doc again, beating him over and over. And he goes, "What the hell is going on?" And he goes,
Yeah, at least he goes right to a doctor and is just like, yeah, shit's weird, doc.
says,
I'm
"I've been
not like
seeing
hiding.
things so clearly. I understand stuff right away. I can't stop reading books, 2 to 3 a day. I can't sleep ever since." He says, "I gotta go," and then the whole bar is like, "Ever since the sighting." He turns around, the whole bar's looking at him. And
Yep.
yeah, he tells him, "Just come in for a physical and we'll check you out." And this is the beginning of the town getting like kind of manic towards him.
Yeah, no, there's a few times where I'm like, the pitchforks and the torches are just right around the corner, ready, right, guys?
Or the cult-like worship. It was gonna go either
Yeah.
way.
There's gonna be
he's
a cross. Someone's going up on it. We don't know who yet. We'll figure that out as we're going.
Right. He watches a solar get installed and then starts doing it himself, and then like has a little terrarium with solar panels, building all these experiments around the house.
Yeah, we just have a science montage, and he's like, I know what a gyroscope is, and just watching a gyroscope spinning.
Yeah,
on a
what the fuck
fucking
was
tip.
that about? I don't He's building all these
Science
gadgets and stuff, and he's just like, gyroscope. And I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, that thing I played with when I was 6? All right, cool,
Exactly.
yeah.
That was fucking dumb.
There's a bit of dog dancing in the middle there. It's like all kinds of weird shit going on here.
Yeah, the garden's doing great, and he's reading every book ever. And George brings some of Lace's chairs over to Nate's, and Nate's on a ham radio. Looks like a conspiracy theorist lives here, and he starts blabbering about all these things he's figured out and all these theories he has. And he's like, "You just talk so fast, George, now, and you know so much stuff." And like looks stressed out about it. And then he notices Morse code on the ham, and it says something like watering the marigolds.
Don't overwater them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like watering the marigolds on Friday or something.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like, he's just like, oh, I know exactly what that means. It's like, oh.
And he even says there's Air Force bases around. I don't think we should fuck with this. He's like, no, we got to fuck with it a lot.
Yeah. He's like, here, send this back. Send to make sure not to overwater the marigolds back.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sure nothing will happen from this.
And then he's reading just a mathematics book, and when he goes to turn the page, that's the first time he notices his telekinesis, and the dog is just not fucking having it. As soon as it happens, he's like, no.
He's like, fuck. No, fuck.
And this part was super cringy to me, because he sprints outside and looks up at the sky and goes, "Is somebody trying to tell me something? Huh?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut up.
And he goes back to the doctor. And this time it's just like super honest. Like, yeah, I have God powers now. What's up with that, doc?
And Robert Duvall's the shit out of it, because he's like, "Listen, I'm a man of science, but right now I feel like a child and I'm kind of scared." And he's like, "But let me see it one more time. Do it again." He's at the auto shop. He has made an El Camino that gets 90 miles per gallon on methane from his garbage and pig's manure. And I put, realistically, this is exactly where he would get assassinated.
Yeah, I literally put that there. I was like, you're dead. Like, the government doesn't care anymore. They just kill this man immediately.
They will not study you now. They will end your life. You don't
or bribe you to shut the
industry.
fuck up and you go live in Alaska or something.
Lace drops off more chairs, tries one of his giant tomatoes, and he wipes her chin, and she freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is it, man.
Touch and
that's where you
run.
should be like, I need to stop.
But he does not stop. He's like, you know what? After that reaction, I should follow her to her house. Oh, is that her children in the field? Come in my car with me, children. Get in the truck.
He's doing all the wrong things. You know?
Even the kid's like, did she invite you? It's like, no, but good question. It's like, oh, hi, little girl.
This weird thing in there too,
ribbon there,
where they see the flowers, and her son Al goes, "I thought flowers were for dates," and Travolta goes, "Don't get spooky, Al." And I was like, what does that mean? I didn't like that. Don't say that to him.
Yeah, then like the little girl like gives him his ribbon because he fucking brought like a shitty ass twist tie for the whole thing. It's just like, it's just weird.
And the son gets pissed off about it and just walks away.
Yeah.
And he goes, he gets a little flirty with her, gives her the flowers, and she's like, "Let's go on a walk to get away from my kids because they're watching this." Like, this is another one of those movies, like, you could paint this all in such a different life that she's like, let's go away from my children at least.
And she brings up a very good point. She's like, you have great kids. She's like, you don't fucking know that. Like, you don't
Right.
know me or them.
Yeah, she says, I want to keep my life simple. I don't like complications, blah, blah, blah. And then he completely interrupts the conversation because he starts to feel a thing. And
Yeah.
he's like, you don't feel that right there? And he goes, I think I know what this is. And then he grabs her phone, calls some number, and he's like, no, I don't have any instrumentation. No, I don't have a degree, but I felt a ULF. I'm trying to tell you there's an earthquake coming. And then they hang up on him. Lace takes it seriously for no reason and pulls all their
Remember
china and
humoring the
shit.
crazy person in her house with her children present.
Right.
Okay, you need us to put all the vases on the floor. Okay, kids, put the vases on the floor. Don't make any sudden movements.
And then they have the blandest looking dinner I've ever seen in my life. It looks like just
Yeah.
white stuff with some like cucumbers. And I
Brown
was
stuff on it, yeah.
like, yeah.
And she even says, it's like, I'm a terrible cook. I'm only good at pork chop or turkey. He's like, and which one is this?
I thought that was
He's like, that's a
funny.
joke. I'm like, that wasn't a joke. But good save. That little boy gives an S tier prank and starts fucking shaking the table. He
Yes.
freaks everyone out for a second. I'm like, well done, kid. Well done. That was good. Can't be mad about that.
He leaves after all that. They make eyes at each other while they're laughing. It's the first moment where she looks remotely into him. And the kids are like, we like him. And she's like, he thinks he can detect earthquakes, though. That's a big red flag.
And
then
that he's seen
earthquake.
aliens. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, let's get in the truck and go right now. And she just speeds over to George's to yell at him. And I don't understand this at all. Speeds over there to be like, I also don't understand this part. So she's mad that he knew about the earthquake. She's like, you're lying to me about something. Tell me what's going on. He's like, I don't know. I just know stuff. And she doesn't buy it. And then she sees all her chairs on his porch and starts to freak the fuck out. Goes and looks in his window and there's chairs everywhere.
It's just, I mean, I guess the whole thing is like she thought she was doing something cool and people liked her art and it was just this one dude fucking humoring her and it's fucking hardened your pride.
But like I've seen this, a dozen times in movies like this where like, I bought all your chairs and it's like, oh my God. And she's like, fuck you entirely.
But I guess like, okay, like imagine like Keeson was like the only one with like 1,000 slave computers, the only one watching our clips and no one actually cared to watch. It's like, it's just a bunch of robots.
I would be super bummed out. I don't know that it would be as angry as she got though, but I don't know. Maybe.
But it still hurts your pride. Hurts your pride. Yeah. I understand why some people lash out at that.
I hate you. Now I gotta ask you, hey, are you secretly the only one watching our show?
He says it on like mute on the background and repeat for 1,000.
Setting your NordVPN to different area codes and watching it over and over. George has Nate send another message on the radio, and it makes an unnecessary dig at him about his Diana Ross fan club and how he never talks to women. I'm like, you fucking dick. That was completely unnecessary.
Yeah. You talk to women too much. Fuck off.
Right. You need to stop it. And then he shows him his telekinesis to apologize. And I was like, wait a minute. He's your best fucking friend and you showed him last? Douche. And then we see the doc is on a house call to the Latina family's house. There's an old man with stomach pain speaking Portuguese. No, and he doesn't know what he's saying. He's trying to say something about Berto, and they say that's the little boy. He's like, all right, someone find the kid and call George over here and tell him to stop at the library for a Portuguese book on the way.
And fucking John and fucking Forrest are in the front garden. He's just like, God damn, you're a good farmer. And just pulls up this like massive fucking zucchini.
Yeah, I wrote down Nate is marveling at the size of George's giant zucchini. And he's not answering his phone. He's like, I'm working. And I'm like, you suck, dude. Go answer your phone.
As he's doing there, it's this professor from UC Berkeley kind of shows up. He's like, what the fuck was up with that prediction that you just made? Like, is that a fluke? Can you do this?
Right.
He's like, oh, you're from a college? Come in with me. I've got so much to show you.
Yeah. And he's the whole time, it's kind of shitty. I don't think this would really happen. He's like, I don't care about any of that. I just want to know about the earthquakes. I'm like, I feel like if this happened in real life, the guy would be like, what are you? And tell me what these are.
Yeah. And how can I steal them so I can make my doctorate?
Exactly.
All about
especially
this.
in Berkeley. My God.
Yeah. It's like, who would you believe? This noted Berkeley professor or this farmer who says he invented them? It was me, obviously.
Yeah, the country bumpkin that thinks he can feel earthquakes before they happen? No.
And saw UFOs? No. See, that's what the villain should have been in this movie. Should have been UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
Not the federal government.
Then Tito pulls up laying on the horn and he says, Doc says it's an emergency. You got to learn Portuguese on the way. And the professor's like, learn Portuguese? And Forrest Whitaker's like, why don't you go along, professor? And I love this part, this whole scene. They're driving over there and he's skimming through a book about Portuguese and the guy's just staring at him like, what the fuck is going on? He walks in, starts translating, and he's like, he says he's in the orchard. They ate something bad and he thinks the boy is sick. And the old lady there goes, you learn Portugal, you learn Portuguese language in 20 minutes? He's like, well, not all of it.
Yeah, and then they start going out into the orchard and doing the classic, like, line search. And
This
then,
is where
like,
the Jesus shit starts, dude. This
yeah,
is where it
he
gets
starts
really
full on
Jesus-y.
on Lassie, where he's just like, I feel something this way. And everyone's like, you smell something, boy? Did you take it down the well? Oh, show us.
They're all following him like, what? And then he fucking, and they're like, what's wrong? Are you okay, George? He's like, it isn't me. It's him. And like reaches out his hand and these, for some reason, there's like a thing with loose boards on it.
I guess it's like his fort or something.
Sure.
I don't know. Like it's not explained. But also in the most unnecessary use of telekinesis, like in the entire fucking film.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They were using what they had to work with.
Men.
They were like, just put up some loose boards we can knock over and hide them off camera. And they were like, there's a fort back there. And all the Mexican guys go, Dios mío. When he does that, I'm like, oh shit, they're going to worship him.
Yeah. You're this close for being on a candle, bud. Just keep going.
They find the boy, and the professor is literally looking at him like he just witnessed Christ. And this is where I put, I'm honestly shocked the movie doesn't head this direction where they just start thinking he's God.
Like it does like always feel like it's gonna like veer off into this like fucking like cult God I'm above everything thing, but it always just kind of self-corrects back to the center.
Yes. Which is nice. Yeah, because he basically starts losing his shit. All of a sudden the professor is willing to accommodate every request he has. He's like, I want to bring this machine, I want to see this person. He's like writing down, he's like, okay, you got it, you're Jesus, I will do whatever you ask.
Yeah, the town at this point is like starting to go like, fuck. It's like a little beyond the like, oh, you can read good and do chess now. It's like, we just saw some weird shit.
It makes me think of that meme that Jess said it to me. It was like, she was like, this is what it was like in Villa Grove. It says, all I know is if me and my friends had found ET, we would have beat him with hammers.
And poke the body with a stick afterwards.
Yeah, you pull this shit in a small farm town, they're not going to worship you. They're going to kill you.
Yeah, it's like E.T. and then the sound of like 18 shotguns discharging like simultaneously from multiple angles, unrelated to each other.
I don't know where the hell he came from. All I know is he doesn't have a passport. Get the fuck out of here.
Can we make him in a jerky?
The doc introduces Berto's mom, Ella, to George, and then she asked Tito what kind of work she's looking for, because he said she's looking for work. And then we cut to George telling Nate that he found him a housekeeper and he needs to learn Portuguese. And he's just like, he starts recording all these things he can say on a tape deck, and he's mistranslating all of them. It didn't show me the subtitles, but I know at least part of it was "you're beautiful" and shit like that.
Yeah, no, I got most of it. It's like basically it's like you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Your voice is like a poem,
like a symphony.
And there's like like a symphony. And then like a couple of things. Yeah, basically it's like he's like telling him, it's like, oh, this is how you ask for how much are you going to pay, and he's just giving him like the smoothest fucking lines on the planet.
Right. Which is also kind of part of the plot of Love Actually. But Lace's daughter is scaring herself with a UFO book, and her son's writing a report on UFOs. Lace essentially refers to him as unsafe.
Yeah, they're trying to wingman him for some reason. Like the kids are super on his side, and and then the end of it, she's like, well, why don't you like him? And he's like, because I like him. It's like, oh, bullshit. You're fucking repulsed by him. No, you do not like him.
It's so corny, dude.
Yeah, you've been acting like he's made of acid and rotten meat for like this entire
These movies
fucking
gave
film.
a lot of men our age unrealistic expectations for women. That if they don't like you, that means they do like you. And you just got to be harassing them about it.
And now we flip to the other fucking side where women are like, where are all the men at? Because they're not flirting with us anymore. It's like, we were told not to. Like, they won't chase me anymore. It's like, we were told not to chase.
Yeah, I still won't. I don't care. George is at a bar answering the entire town's questions about his holy miracles. And then he starts freaking out, complaining about the mail carrier being 2 hours late. And I put, fuck you, George. I hope you get a tumor. Oh, wait.
Here's how the mail can work harder.
It pissed me off so bad. He gets tired of the questions and everyone being weird and leaves. Apologizes to Lace for the chairs and just says, I just wanted you to come by the shop more. And then he asks her to come to Berkeley with him because he's scared. And she's like, well, if I'm at your shop at noon, I'll go. If not, I'm not going. I'm like, how about we just like make plans like grown-ups and you don't be fucking weird about it. Ella shows up at Nate's house and he is just stunned, jaw drops to the floor.
Yeah, she's like, "Is this the right place for the maid?" And she looks at his house, and it's just like fucking looks like the beginning of the Limitless movie. She's like, "Yep, this is
Exactly.
the right place."
And she's like, I cook too. You need cooking? And I'm like, dude, be careful. Because it's a bold assumption to tell Nate, like, you know, you say these lines and it's going to work. He is a big fat guy. And then she's like, how much you pay? I'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk about the money. And he goes, wait. And then says all the lines. And she's like, you're cute. And he's like, just fucking jaw drops on the floor. And then he goes to his radio and breaks up with Diana Ross.
And then we cut to the FBI raiding his house. He went from the best day ever to the worst day ever in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, FBI's taking all this shit. Agent says Nate Pope sent a coded message to an Air Force base. He's like, no, I did. I'm like, who taught you that cipher? He's like, nobody. I just broke it. He's like, who trained you? He's like, nobody. And then, yeah, they fucking take them all in. They're having him try to decode messages, and he says he can't. They're too complex. And I don't know if he's lying or if they actually are, because he never, like, actually does it. I'm assuming he's lying.
Yeah. And then Data fucking interrogates him.
Yeah. I love this scene, though. Yeah, Data interrogates him. They're like, you caused the cancellation of a top secret program and cost the government a lot of money. And then I put here, like Nick says, don't fuck with the government's money.
Don't touch the money, don't touch the boats. 2 things you don't touch.
And they're like, we think he's playing genius games. Test him. And they're like, we can't keep holding him. And he goes, yes, he can. Yes, we can. He resisted arrest. I'm like, man, this has just been around forever, huh?
You know, there's just cameras now that we can prove what's happening. But back then, it's like, you did this. No, I didn't. All right, well, he said he didn't, so that's it.
And then we get, in my opinion, the best scene of the movie is the IQ test, where they start out with name as many mammals as you can in 60 seconds. He's like, how do you like that? Alphabetical? And then spits out a bunch like Eminem when he's speed rapping, just says a bunch.
Yeah.
It says unicorn is technically a myth, but you weren't being specific, were you, Bob? And he goes, how old is a person born in 1928? And he goes, click. And he goes, man or woman? Click. He goes, repeats it and says a man. And he goes, still alive? Click. And then he repeats it again. He goes, what month? And keeps going from there. He's like, what time?
What
10
year?
p.m. Where? Anywhere. Well, let's get specific, Bob. If a guy's still alive, born in California, October 3rd, 1928 at 10 p.m., he's 67 years, 9 months, 22 days, 14 hours, grabs his watch and goes, in 12 minutes. If he's born in New York, he's 3 hours older. Now, isn't he, Bob? And he's just like... and then he starts like idly moving a pencil back and forth with telekinesis and just push the guy over the edge.
How are you doing that?
His fucking brain implodes. And he's like, is that a trick pencil? It's your fucking pencil, idiot.
Yeah. He's like, we're all made of the same stuff. He's like, Adam, it's like energy. Just move it back and forth.
Well, he says wood, and he's like, energy, Bob. Yeah. Like, did you say wood, you moron? And he says, I want to go home. And we see Lace is waiting at the shop for him. And I'm like, God damn it, FBI is fucking my boy over.
Yeah. He's like, I want to go home. Like, about that. Just.
And then it shows him like rocking back and forth on a bunk. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
you broke Jesus, and that's bad.
Yeah. And he's like, when are going to leave? It's like, well, they don't feel safe with you out in the world, so never.
And then he goes, if you guys keep me here, I'll call the press, or I'll call London or Riyadh. And they're like, okay, never mind. And I'm like, yeah, but really, they would have been like, or you'll never call anyone ever again. How about that? He goes to Lace's window and wakes her up.
She's just fine with that. She's like, oh, hi.
I'm like, now you thought predicting earthquakes were a red flag, but showing up to your window, you're into it now? He says, I scare them. And she says, you scare me too. It's getting really complicated and I don't know what's going to happen next. And he goes, I should probably leave you alone, huh? And she goes, I guess so. And I'm like, what was the point of all this?
Yeah. Every turn she said, leave me alone.
And then he meets up with Nate at the bar and apologizes. And Nate's like broken now, like traumatized from being kidnapped by the FBI.
Yeah.
And I like this. Everyone's at the bar is like, well, what'd they find out? And he's like, I'm pregnant. And then he just starts going off on the whole bar.
Yeah. He's like, I've got a bunch of holy shit ideas. I've got a lot of what if ideas. Like, here's the secret of the fucking universe. Like, just like throws at people and gets so fucking mad. He just like blows up the mirror with his fucking mind powers. And everyone's like, okay, I'm going to leave.
I also like in the middle of that rant, he goes, and here's a more efficient way for Bonnie to run her mail route. And I'm like, George, you need to chill out.
It's really on the mail.
Yeah, shatters a mirror, and then he's at the shop, and it's completely empty. Baines quit. There's no customers because everybody's scared of him. And George is starting to look like total shit, like looking like a full-on crackhead, psycho conspiracy theorist. Doc comes in to check on him. Is like, we need a CAT scan, more blood, and also you look like shit. And he starts breaking down and shows him a flyer. He's like, what if I just go to this library fair and let everybody ask me questions? And it's making me sad because he really is just a good guy that just wants everybody to love him still. And then he's hoeing his garden in full-on crackhead attire, like pajama pants and a robe.
Yeah, and then he starts like clawing at the dirt, and then the shrooms hit.
Is he stimming? Because he like in the middle of a freak out, just like notices the wind and looks at the trees and starts, just vibing. I don't know what that was.
I want to hear vibing with the trees when the shrooms hit, man.
There's some pointless scene with the piece of the mirror.
Oh,
Lace
yeah,
goes to see, and then the haircut scene, which is just
yeah. She goes to his house and he's like full fucking crackhead, like in a chair, like she's like, okay, we need to clean you up, and then we spend the next like 5 goddamn minutes on like the sexiest, stripteasiest fucking haircut that I've ever fucking seen.
It's so
like,
weird.
I need a cigarette after that fucking beard shave.
Yeah, they play "Crazy Love" the entirety of the song. That's how long.
I hate his stubble
is.
too. I don't know why John Travolta's stubble makes me mad, but there's something about it that just bugs the shit out of me.
His what?
I don't know. His stubble, just like it feels like
he's got a strange face.
Yeah.
His fucking butt chin and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that was odd. It's like I just put him out. I was like, why does this stubble make me mad? I don't know. It's just, it was late at night. But,
and then she literally moans at him at a certain point, and leaves him with blue balls.
Yeah. And I also put like, so we paid for all the crazy love, so we are listening to the entire goddamn song.
Yep. That's the only thing. They do that with a couple songs actually, but yeah, that was strange. And I think you're right. I think they were just like, we used a third of our budget on this music. We're playing the whole thing. Yeah. They thought they were going to get their ghost pottery scene, and it wasn't that. It was weird.
Then he goes in to kiss her, and then she fucking leaves again. It's just like, yeah, die from the blue balls. Fuck the brain tumor. He's gonna fucking explode at this point, bleed out.
And then we see the library fair, which is pretty fucking cool. I've never seen a library fair before, but
I think it's
like
a small town
carnival
syndrome,
almost. Yeah,
but, like this is what was going on this weekend, so everyone's there.
yeah, they got like balloon streamers, concessions, all these booths of like everybody in town's favorite books, which I thought was cool. They got George's best reads in the past month, and you see the FBI's there, the news is there, and then he starts letting everybody do their thing. And a guy goes really aggressively, how do we know you read all these? And I'm like, that's what you came here to ask?
Yeah, like there's one guy who's just a dick there. Like he's just there to fucking stir the pot. And he goes on, it's like, well, like, how'd you like break the mirror? And he's like, oh, let me just demonstrate my telekinesis to this entire crowd.
Yes.
And start fucking like moving up this fucking like thing of like sunglasses, and everyone's just like, Jesus God, monster devil. And just like fucking the entire crowd's fucking brain just like collectively breaks.
I also like that Baines is there. He's the one that asked that question. Like he just showed up to shit on his parade. I'm like, fuck you, Baines. And they're like, why can't we do it? He's like, it's just focus, clarity. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you can.
Yeah. And they're like, what about the UFOs? He's like, I don't know that either. And then he goes, yes, you do. And then the news is like, this began the night you saw the objects in the sky. And he was like, it was a light. And then he just starts trying to explain everything again. He goes, did you know that the largest organism is a grove of aspen trees in Colorado? Acres of aspens that they thought were separate, but it's one giant organism with the same root system. And I'm like, is that true? That's terrifying.
I don't know about the aspen, but I know the mushroom one is true.
Yeah, that's creepy as shit. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think like that was them. But I think the world's largest. I think it's also still in Yellowstone, but it's a mushroom colony that like spans like 8 kilometers or something.
Yeah,
like
Yellowstone as a whole is terrifying. It's like the last remnant of the Jurassic era that could kill us all.
Basically, it's also a dormant supervolcano, which is
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah,
could kill us all.
Yeah. I guess you're close enough to be. I'd be like in the instant death zone. You'd be like in the slow suffering zone.
I would. I'm closer to them than you are.
Yeah,
I drive an hour and I'm in Yellowstone.
Yeah, but we're on the fault lines is the problem. That thing goes.
We're all dead here. It's like Florida and the East Coast that will like possibly drown in ash and at very least live in darkness for a while.
Yep.
Horrifying.
Somehow Florida man will survive.
Yes, they will.
That's how Mad Max happens right there. It's just where all the meth and the cars come from.
Yep. All the questions start overlapping and he starts getting super overwhelmed. And then a dude literally comes up with his like son limp in his arms. It's like, put your hands on him. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Heal him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he sees the big flash and a boom again and passes out and comes to in an MRI. And now he's in a hospital bed. And the doc comes in and he's like, how did you get your pressure to come down? He was like, it was simple. I just found my pace. Like, fuck off. I'm God.
Mhm.
And he says, what he's like explaining.
Wait.
He's like, too hard to explain. He's like, what do you figure? I'm too thick. He's like, what I figure about you is that you're stalling. And he's like, I'm
Mhm.
waiting for reinforcements. And you see Nate and Lace come in, who've already been crying. And she walks in and squeezes his hand. Everybody looked devastated. And then he says, George, there's a tumor in your brain spread out like a hand. Threads of it are everywhere. Instead of destroying your brain function, it's been stimulating it. More area of active brain use than anyone ever. And I'm like, God damn it. Even the doctor is saying this bullshit.
Mm. Just say it's more interconnected. That's all you need to do.
And then he says, we got a call from the best brain man in the world. I'm like, you're a doctor. Did you just say brain man?
The small town doctor. And they're like,
Uh,
yes, it's making you superhuman, and it's also killing you, and it's
yeah,
gonna
but
restrict your blood flow to your brain.
Yep, basically says he's going to start deteriorating, blacking out more, and then he's going to die. And he says, we don't know how long you have. And then he goes, something happened 26 years ago when you broke your leg, and I said it. He says, you got my heart more than most. For a man that has never been a father, I sure do feel like I'm losing a son. And I was like, I'm fucking crying right now, Robert Duvall. Stop it. And they says, can I do anything for you, George? And he's like, yes, next spring I want you to use the new fertilizer and plant corn. I'm telling you, you can get 4 to 5 years with that rotation. And then they leave him alone with Lace. And this part got me too, where, they're talking for a while. And she says, it's so hard not to love you. And he says, would you love me the rest of my life? And she says, no, I'll love you the rest of mine. And I'm like, oh my God, you make no sense, but whatever.
Then we get the scene with the top brain guy in the country, and he's like, so I want to cut your brain open while you're alive. Are you into that? I think I can convince you. I think you might make you into that. And he's just like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, he says no, and they're like explaining like you could advance our knowledge hundreds of years. He's like, I don't fucking care, essentially. And so they go to a court and declare him incompetent and take like power of attorney, I guess, and they're gonna do it
Yeah,
anyway.
gonna get your
And
brain, son.
yeah, and Doc shows up and confronts him. I didn't really understand. This line was dumb. He was like, he got the judge to make the decision. He goes, bullshit. Now I know where you guys wear masks. You should also be wearing a mask. Just so
Yeah.
you know.
I'm an anti-masker doctor. No, doc. No.
How did you do this 24 years early? And then I love this part. He's at a bar listening to everyone talking shit about George, basically. Like, it was probably a trick pen. He probably did this like this and everything. And then he just rips the whole bar a new asshole. He turns and goes,
Yeah, especially this one guy. Yeah,
Baines,
we
yeah.
talked about it a few times. Yeah. It's like because he's like not had a girlfriend and like been suffering and shit. The background is like a reoccurring joke.
Yeah. He's like, how's your lady love? And he's like, we broke up. And he's like, George has a lady at his side and she's sticking with him. You know why? Because he bought her chairs. Every woman has chairs. You ever figure out what her chairs and buy him? No. He says, we're right about one thing, though. George never changed. And then they go, Doc's making no sense. Maybe he caught it from George. And then he fucking throws his beer down the bar and shatters everyone's drinks.
So clean. Yeah, it's like the drinks, the fries, just like one clean motion, like, doctor, fuck you.
It was beautiful. And he goes, why do you have to tear him down? What have you got to lose? He wasn't selling anything. He didn't want anything from anybody. He wanted nothing from nobody. Nothing.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was
Robert
like,
Duvall's
are
a
you
shit.
so fucking scared just so you can go back to think the world is flat? I'm like, oh, they had that in 1996? Fuck. We fixed nothing.
He says, to hell with all of you, and leaves. And you see George is dumping his pills they're giving him into the pudding, including the last dose they gave him. And he gives a pudding.
He's smart because they're going to cut his brain out without
Right.
his consent. So.
And then he has somebody named Cal come in, and he offers him his pudding.
The orderly.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck yeah, I love this pudding, man. Cuts to Carol fucking sleeping in the bed, and he's like in the orderly outfit and sneaks out. And
there's like an FBI guy at the door of his hospital room. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys.
Yeah, no, apparently pre-cell phones, the FBI kind of sucked.
Yeah. And then the cops are looking for him everywhere, and they go and ask Doc, have you seen him? And he's like, he got loose. He's like, George got loose? And he just starts like giggling to himself and then bends over while he's laughing, and he just starts letting the air out of all the cop tires.
Yep.
And then George is telling Nate who to give all his papers and books to, and then gives him one for himself about soil and some of his thoughts. And he goes to leave, and he's like, I could drive you. And he's like, it's too chancy. He's like, go like teary-eyed, goes, you can make it, man. And then they hug.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't remember this movie being so blurry.
Oh, yeah. Heads to the girlfriend's house and gets asked by the 7-year-old, "Did you come here to die, sir?" He's like, "Christ, this kid is way too fucking wise for his ears."
Yeah, the kid gets really upset about it, runs off crying, and he gives some weird thing about apples. He's like, if we put this apple down and leave it, it'll spoil in a few days. But if we took a bite, it comes with us and becomes part of us forever. And the girl takes a bite, and then Al won't. And she's like, everything is on its way to somewhere. Everything. And then he takes a bite, and he goes, that's a good bite. I'm like, that was weird. I didn't like that. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Pre-COVID apple sharing. No, just,
Well, just the line, that's a good bite. I'm like, shut up, John. You're creepy.
You know these kids for a week. Just, you ain't your dad. Chill.
And I was like, I guess they didn't think to come to his house. And I was like, oh, there they are. FBI
Yep.
shows up.
Yeah, with the amount of veracity, he's like, is he here? Nope. Well, that's all I'm going to do. Just like,
well, no, he sees the tools on the truck and everything, goes to start it for some reason. And then she says, I don't understand why that means he's here, by the way. But
I guess it's running well, and it's like notoriously a shitty running truck, so they were fixing it right before.
Yeah. But she goes, what's your first name? And she says, Jack. And she goes, how would you want to die, Jack? And then he like stares at her and shuts it off and was like, all right, we're out. Like shows some humanity for the first time in the movie just because George is that awesome. He's sitting in a tree writing more thoughts for the doctor. And she's like, you scared? And he says, no. And she's like, I wish I knew what you feel. And he's like, I'll show you. How did you hold your babies? And she like pantomimes holding a baby. And he's like, when they had a hard time sleeping, how would you rock them? And she like closes her eyes and starts fake rocking them. Like, this explains nothing. What the fuck was that?
I guess
And then,
just like love and peace kind of a thing. Yeah, like
I guess, but it was weird. And then he's like, oh, look what I made. And there's just a blanket on the ground. She's like, are you expecting to get lucky? And he's like, I'm going to. Like, look, I put a blanket on the ground and I'm going to die today, probably. Can we please fuck already for the love of God?
Yeah. It's my dying request. And you throw me one pity bone. And yeah, and
they do.
She rides me to death.
They play all of Have a Little Faith in Me. And everything he does is weird. I don't know what I expected from John Travolta banging, but it's strange.
Probably his first time with a woman, so you got to give him credit.
And then
yeah, she bangs him to death. The succubus.
Yeah. We get the real gut wrenchers. They're cuddling bed. And they're like, he's like, are you going to sleep? He says, yeah, you. And she's like, no, I don't want to sleep unless you are. And then he goes, Lace, honey, you have to listen to me now. It's happening. And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's just like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And then he goes, goodbye, honey, and just dies. Like, dude, can you imagine being all knowing and going through death like that? Like knowing exactly what's happening to you? And then, we cut to the next morning. Professor Ringgold shows up to see George. She tells him he died last night and he left these for you. It says they're not finished, so you'll have to do it. And he says, I'll do my best, and leaves. And then she sits on the porch and cries and sees the wind blowing in the trees, like calms and like kind of like she realizes it's him maybe. And
he's in the trees.
Yeah. And then the kids bring her coffee. I'm like, so do you guys just live here now?
Yes, I mean, it's fucking the farm country, man. You just fucking move in like a hermit crab.
I don't think he'd have a problem with it. It was just weird.
Yeah. She has like an equally nice house, like right down the fucking road. I don't know.
I think more land than him. But
I guess she was taking care of his dog, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, true. And then we get a 1 year later scene of Nate, Ella, Berto getting into truck with corn from their gigantic cornfield they have now, and she's pregnant, and he's speaking in fluent Portuguese, and they walk into a birthday party for George that the whole town is at. Baines has a girlfriend, even though he didn't deserve love. And, and everybody's here, and Doc is playing chess with Al.
And just zooms in on a picture of George, and that's our movie.
That's it. Fucking did not remember this movie. I remember it being sad ending. I did not remember it being so fucking good at it.
So remember, guys, the moral of the story is the drug-using finance bro goes on to get everything he wants, and the kind, small, everyday man dies horribly of cancer that he can't afford to fix.
And with all the genius in the world, couldn't figure out a way to get the tumor out.
Yep.
That would have been a cool alternate ending if he knows enough to guide them through the surgery, and they're like, but you won't be smart anymore. And he's like, I don't care.
Yeah, and then the crux is like at one point, like they cut something. It's like, what do we do next? I don't know.
That would be amazing. But now it's time to take these two movies through 10 rounds and declare a winner of the 20% of your brain battle. And then I never want to talk about that theory ever again because it's so irritating. All right, starting with round one. Shit, let me pull up the fucking... Round one, The Intelligence Awakening. Which film handles the mind unlocked moment better? Limitless with the NZT pill, instant hypercompetence and sensory overload. Phenomenon is the birthday lights and gradual mental expansion. Which transformation is more compelling? So the first, not the overall arc, just the first moment.
Yeah. I personally think I put this for Limitless, 8 and a 6 because for Phenomenon, because Limitless, it's like instant cognition. He's aware of everything around him. He's just like automatically like at a 10, whereas like George doesn't even realize it really at first, like the first day. He's just like, chest, all right.
Yeah. I went
I fell over.
8-7, same general reasons. I like how they use the visuals of the warm tones, and the way it shows him remembering little things is just a lot cooler than a flash in the sky and winning at chess. Like, it was a lot more subtle in Phenomenon, but it looked way cooler in Limitless.
Yeah, definitely. It had much more intentional style, which yet again, Phenomenon was limited by the 90s, and if they tried to do any of that
Right.
shit, it would have been
It would have
fucking
looked like ass,
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we both gave round 1 to Limitless, taking us into round 2. The new abilities. Which set of powers is more interesting to watch unfold? So this is more of the rest of it. Eddie Moore gets total cognitive optimization, memory recall, predictive thinking. George Malley, genius level intellect, telekinesis, emotional insight, feeling people's feelings. Crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Honestly, I think I gave this one to George by a hair. It did a 7 Limitless 8 Phenomenon, just because, like, even though, uh, Eddie's powers were cool, he was such a fucking idiot with them sometimes. Like, he didn't have any emotional intelligence or any fucking, like, wisdom to use any of this shit or, like, try to shield himself at all, whereas George, like, wasn't making the crazy moves, but, like, still, like, but was using all these abilities to better the lives of the people around
Right.
him, not just himself. And also mind powers. Like, we didn't get fucking mind powers
Right.
in Limitless.
Yeah, I did the same. I went 9-7 to Phenomenon. I said both are awesome, but once you see Eddie's powers for the first time, you pretty much get it. That's all they are for the rest
Yeah.
of the movie. They don't develop beyond that. And George is getting powerful to like godlike levels, and starts discovering all kinds of different ways to use them. And yeah, I mean, it evolves, and it does not in Limitless.
No.
Beyond the psychicness at the end with the car accident,
Yeah,
that was
it
about
evolves a little bit at the end, and, like, he, like, takes more at a point, so he's learning faster, but that's not really shown to us
yeah,
in
yeah,
any way besides him just telling us that that's happening. So,
yeah. It would
yeah.
have been cooler if it was more gradual, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, like you said, he's just at 10 instantly. It's just like, "Oh, I'm as good as
exactly.
I'm ever gonna be. Alright, let's go."
So we both gave round 2 to Phenomenon,
Mhm.
taking us to round 3, which is character at the center. Eddie versus George. Which protagonist anchors the story better? Eddie is flawed, opportunistic, and morally flexible. George is gentle, humble, and curious about the world. Ambition versus innocence. Who is more compelling?
I did a 8-6 here for, Limitless. I just felt like his character was more dynamic and a little more interesting, like in like the flipping between like the fucking withdrawal symptoms and the hypercompetence and shit. And just there's something about John Travolta, man. There's a reason he needed to come back with Saturday Night Fever because his things were suffering for a while and he was kind of becoming a joke. And he comes off a little like cartoon charactery, a little like too innocent, a little too childlike in this sometimes. It just didn't really grab me.
I went the opposite for the exact opposite reasons. I felt that Eddie was pretty fucking one-dimensional. His only thing is his ambition. Bradley Cooper's just smart Bradley Cooper and only interested in making his life better, and George just loves everyone and wants to share his knowledge. I mean, even just entertainment value, you see like more side stuff. He has more relationships in his life, so like more things come off of that and make more
Oh
side
yeah,
plots.
where he relentlessly stalks the woman until she finally
Beyond
breaks and
that,
busts
I'm
on his
talking about like
deathbed.
Tito and like finding the little boy and his relationship with Doc and the professor. And I mean, most of Limitless is just I'm awesome and I'd like to continue being awesome, except for when I'm having drug withdrawals. And that, I feel like they could have done more with the side stuff and Limitless and like, I don't know, giving him a friend or something. You know what I mean? Beyond just
Or like a
constantly
5-minute
beautiful
shaving
women.
scene. I don't know. I think there was enough holes with just John Travolta that like it hurt the character a little bit. I mean, the character might be better, but I think the portrayal was not as good, if that makes sense. It was very
Maybe.
aware I was watching John Travolta a lot of the time.
But on paper, it's a lot less interesting of a human being for Bradley Cooper for me.
Yeah, but I find him a more interesting character to watch,
It was
regardless of
just
the flaws.
watching
So
somebody like, wouldn't it be dope if this happened?
yeah, and then fucking like watching him tweak and fucking fall down all those fucking like addict fucking holes and shit like that, and just like I got a plan to get off it. And I don't know, I found it compelling.
All
All the
right, so we're split on
justifications.
3, taking us
Yep.
into round 4. Cost of Genius. Which film handles the downsides better? Limitless has the addiction, blackouts, violent consequences, phenomenon,
I mean,
brain deterioration, and mortality. Which consequences hit harder?
I kind of like because like if we're talking about the cost at the end of the day, like I put Limitless as a 2 and Phenomenon as a 10 because there was
So
at the end of it no cost to
that's
fucking
where
Bradley Cooper's character.
So I gave this one to Limitless because it does cost more at the end of Phenomenon, but you see so
Yeah,
much more of it in Limitless. Obviously, it costs more. He fucking dies. But watching the
yeah,
portrayal of the withdrawals, like you just mentioned in the last one, it was a lot more interesting to me to watch him, like the contrast between like the warms and then the grays, and he's fucking sweating and puking
yeah.
outside, and you don't
But
see
then
a
it's all
super lot of it until the last like 20 minutes in Phenomenon.
yeah. But then but then the whole thing with that is that if it's the cost, it's like it was like, oh, I just fix it. How off screen? It's like that's okay.
Yeah,
So
see,
you
that
just
was the thing. If I'm going off of just overall cost, but like watching the cost, that's the thing. If it's which one costs more, I mean, it's obvious. It's not even a question because
yeah.
one dies. But if it's like, I don't know, which one shows them better, I feel like,
Yeah. Also, I think of what John Travolta's character lost, like a fucking loving family and all that shit, where he just gained a girlfriend basically at the end of it and millions of dollars. So
yeah,
it's
see,
just
that's
like
what I'm
there is
saying.
no
If I
loss.
go off of end
Yeah.
result, that's why I'm on the fence about it. If it's just end result, obviously it goes to Phenomenon. This wouldn't even be around. But if
Hmm.
it's like the depiction of the cost, I feel like Limitless depicts it better before
Yeah.
death.
But then negates it. So it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like that undercuts the whole thing. Like if they had continued with it and like he like has this like one last burst of genius and does this crazy thing and then dies. I'm like, okay, yeah, fucking he won that cost thing because he did all this fucking bad shit like leading up to it. And then he died, but he's just rewarded and vindicated and living his best
No,
life at
I
the end. So it's
completely
like
agree. I'll put a pin in it.
that
If it comes
cost.
down to a tie
Yeah,
or something, I might change that. But that's what I was on the fence about.
yeah,
Like the overall, the end cost, like end of the day, final bill, obviously, one dies and one doesn't. Not only
yeah.
doesn't, but just gets everything he could ever want. But
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Yeah,
if
it's
it's
just
just off of like the crackhead scenes in
yeah,
Phenomenon, like when he starts getting paranoid and not shaving versus Bradley Cooper puking outside and sweating and passing out, those two things, I feel like Limitless is better. But
yeah.
yeah.
But he does almost kill the bar with his psychic powers. Like if that bartender was standing in front of that mirror, fucking when that thing went, he would have like fucking splattered bartender. We don't know.
I still think Bradley Cooper might have killed the model. I think they might have just
Yeah,
framed him and watched it happen.
I think so.
That's also just because it's Bradley Cooper. I don't
Also,
know.
just like he already woke up in the middle of like killing people, so like fucking who
Right.
knows? Like yeah,
I feel like all those guys in the subway are dead. He killed those
yeah.
Russians. Like he's got a trail of bodies.
Well,
uh,
that's the thing too. Like they say the drug like kind of fucks with their morality too. Like it doesn't care that that shit happens. So
right. Well, and again, they don't really handle like her issues were like, that's not actually you. And then at the end, she's just fine with it. I'm like, it's
yeah.
what was the point of all that? Which takes us
Yeah,
in
it was
kind of
great.
related, round 5, the emotional impact. Which film makes you feel more outside the main plot? Limitless has the thrill of ambition, paranoia, and the intoxicating rush of power. Phenomenon has wonder, empathy, and the quiet humanity of George's journey.
I mean, I put Limitless pretty low here because, like, once
Yes.
he became a finance bro, like, I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire, like,
Yep.
level of shit. It's just like, oh, you're what's wrong with the world? Cool.
Yeah,
Use
I
all that
went.
power just to become the evilest person ever. Great.
Yep. Couldn't care less about you. I don't even
Yeah.
care if everything works out for you, to be honest.
Whereas, like, George is like, I figured out solar power and farming, and I want to give it to the world for free. It's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, I care about your character.
And then the whole world's like, fuck you. Really, though?
Mhm.
He should have died when he made the car. Like,
Yeah, exactly. No, the second the government got a wind of that, like, the FBI would have been there instantly. They wouldn't have had to deal with the whole fucking code thing. They would have just shot him in the back of the head and walked away.
you just see a fucking tank pull up with Exxon written all over it. And like, nope, boom.
Takes out his fucking garage.
You know? Yeah, that one was this round. I went 10-5, no fucking contest. There's very
Yeah,
little
no.
emotion in Limitless.
Everything in Limitless is very cool. Like, it's just like, oh, cool, slick, clean, fucking stylized. And yeah, it's not really
Yeah.
emotionally engaging.
Yeah, I literally shed a couple tears during Phenomenon, and Eddie is just a greedy sociopath.
Yep.
That takes us into round 6, the outside threat. Who brings the pressure? Limitless has the loan sharks, corporate power, political ambition, and a Terminator. And Phenomenon
Yeah.
has government scientists and community fear.
I mean, yet again, I don't think this one's a contest.
Yeah.
It's like 9 for Limitless, and I put a 5 for Phenomenon because the
Yep.
FBI is like, oh, he got away. I guess we should do something about that. All right, let's go find him.
Yeah, at
Like,
no point was he really under any duress in Phenomenon. And plus, I loved the Russian. And, then you got the creepy Terminator, the detective, the lawyer, De Niro,
yeah,
like so much more going on.
the fucking loan shark. Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And literal
Yeah.
fucking murder happens in this movie. There's very low stakes in Phenomenon. It's like the most Hallmark version of what would have happened in this situation.
Yeah. The only thing it was missing was like the girl coming back from a large town and having a boyfriend there that she then cheats on is considered. And okay, I was like, I just how this happens. The Notebook, that's considered the most romantic movie on the planet. The story is
Cheating.
she cheats on a dude.
Yep.
Yeah. What? Okay. All right, women.
Yeah, that's always
I'll-
pissed me off beyond all reason. I mean, the ending with old boy actor and her like always gets me just because it's old people dying together and everything.
Yeah.
But the whole story, I'm like, you are both pieces of shit.
Yeah, and it's like not even the guy did anything wrong. He's just fucking boring. Like it's just
Right. Yeah, that movie's bullshit.
Anyways,
That
that's my
created a whole
soapbox.
generation of cheating women. Anyway, I'm not bitter at all. Round 7
Yeah, me neither.
is tone and genre identity. Limitless has the slick sci-fi thriller power fantasy. Phenomenon as warm supernatural a drama. Which tone suits the concept better?
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. I split the vote on this one. And
I did too.
Kind of low because this one kind of felt a little apples and oranges
Exactly.
in a weird way. They both do it well in a very different way, and I couldn't really egg it out to either of them because like one's like so quaint and cozy, and the other's so fucking like sleek and like savvy and sexy and shit.
Right.
It's just like they're both nice though, but I can't tell you which one's better.
Yep, same thing. I said they both have very distinct tones and nailed it. Like I just said, Phenomena is almost like a sci-fi Hallmark movie, and I appreciate it for what it is as much as I hate Hallmark movies. And Limitless is literally just like, wouldn't it be dope if I was a genius and awesome at everything?
Yep.
And it was awesome for that. It was entertaining for that. I'm not
it's like, what if I was a
necessarily
Mary
shitting
Sue?
on it. They're
Yeah.
both very, very different.
Exactly.
And they both nailed what they were going for.
Mhm.
Could have done with a little less 90s cringe and Phenomenon, but it was
Yeah,
the
especially the whole
90s, so.
awkward, I'm gonna keep chasing this woman even though she has clearly said no 7 times to my face.
Yes.
Like
Typical 90s plot.
uh-huh. Oh, I just gotta chase her a little harder and it'll work. I'm gonna show up to her house where her kids are with her kids in tow. That's
And
not
I'm going to show
threatening.
up to her window and be like, I guess I should just go away. Yeah, you should.
And then she says, "Yes, you should," and then you don't.
Round 8, visualizing intelligence. Which movie better shows what a supercharged mind looks like? Limitless has the kinetic editing, zoom effects, and hyper awareness visuals. Phenomenon is mostly dialogue driven discoveries and demonstrations.
Yeah, I think this one I put 10-5 because Phenomenon is basically like book string.
Yep.
Like it's not really they did with what they could, whereas like there's some visually intriguing things in Limitless, like the infinite zoom thing.
Yes.
When he's writing his book and all the letters are dropping Matrix style and like sitting in little blocks around his apartment, and like when his like ceiling flips into the fucking stock market. It's very stylized and very well done, I feel. Whereas
Yep, I did the same.
Phenomenon feels like they kind of plopped down a camera in a town and recorded, which is what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I love the whole warm tone thing. When he pulls the memories, like how he pulls them and how it shows it and everything was really cool. And like you said, the stock ticker effect and the letters flying around. I put the IQ test was a close second for me. It's just still a close second. Like it's really cool, but it's not as cool as the fucking fucking yeah. They really make it look cooler, demonstrating that he's smart than a chess game. But again, that could just be because it was the 90s. I don't fucking know. Either way, Limitless takes this one for both of us. Taking us into round 9. The ending. Limitless. Eddie ascends to political and intellectual dominance. Phenomenon. George accepts mortality and leaves a lasting impact. Which ending lands harder?
I mean, like I said, the ending for Limitless kind of pissed me off a little bit
Same.
because it's just like nothing was learned. He got everything he ever wanted. He suffers no repercussions for his actions. Any negative side effects from the drugs are negated. Any power anyone has over him is gone. He's God. No one can stop him. Where Phenomenon, I'm just like, oh no, don't die, John. Care. You've made me care. God damn it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was lazy as fuck, the end of Limitless. Like, even the
Yeah,
whole 1 year later thing, there's not
it
even
just
like an aha
ends.
moment where like I
Yeah.
figured it out. I figured out how to fix it. It's just a year later and everything's great and I'm winning at life and
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
fixed it off screen, everybody.
Right.
No trouble.
And yeah, watching Robert Duvall saying, feel like I'm losing a son and I love you, I'll love you for the rest of mine. And
Mhm.
I was just way
Tree
better.
vibing.
Like a whimsical 90s adventure movie, the way they ended it. And
Mhm.
like, yeah,
It's a
landed way
Cold
better.
Yeller-esque up gut punch right at the end.
Exactly.
Let's not leave you too happy. All right, walk to the theater.
All right, that takes us into round 10. Round 10 is the same thing for every matchup here on Flick Fights. Final verdict, gut check. Strip away the nostalgia and premise similarity. Which one tells the better story?
I mean, gut check which one of these movies I'm gonna watch again. Limitless. Phenomenon was fine. It was good. I can't see myself ever fucking loading it up again though. It was just like there too many flaws in it. It's a product of its time. It wasn't my jam. It was pretty good and it did what it did well, but like Limitless is definitely more entertaining movie to me.
I did the opposite. I acknowledge all of what you just said, but when I think about them, the first instinct I have when like thinking about Limitless is a very cold and corporate feeling of basically stock bro win. And when I think about, it's cool to fantasize about being a genius and getting rich overnight, but Phenomenon, it just gives me a vibe of returning home to where everybody loves each other and a cool adventure happens. And it was very close score. They're both. I will watch both of them any given day, but
Yeah. I
it
just
might
kept
just be
watching it and
because
it's
I'm
like,
depressed lately. But right now, I don't really want to watch Limitless again. And
yeah. I
watching
just keep
most of
watching it.
Phenomenon is just happy to me. And
Yeah, until it's not. And I don't know, I just keep watching Limitless and like, is this what if I took Adderall, what I'd be like? Would I just become like a functional god and just be able to do all my things and all
it'd
my
be pretty
commitments?
similar to the plot of Limitless with all the downsides included.
Yeah,
You will
definitely
black
find the
out
problems
if
with a
you
little
if you
more.
don't take it. You're gonna die.
Oh, let's roll them bones. It seemed to work out for him in the end. So that's the moral of that story, right? Drugs are good and everything's fine if you take them all the time.
See, you will believe that that's how it will go down when you're on Adderall. You'll also come up with 100 book ideas and write full books that are all complete garbage, or you'll turn into George R. Martin.
I mean, I was doing fan fiction as a kid without Adderall. It's not gonna be anything new. I just channel it into D&D where nonsense is encouraged.
So we landed on a tie. My overall
Mm,
score was you went. Let me pull it up here. Where you went 5-4 to Limitless, and I went 5-4 to Phenomenon. So it really
yeah.
came down to the last round for us. So yes, this will be our second tie ever on this show, and the fact that it came down to the last round should tell you everything. Really, if you're wondering about these movies, which one's better, it just comes down to a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch a story that's slickly cousin style done of a guy gets smart and wins at life and does some awesome shit and just
Or do you wanna see
wins?
some wholesome Travolta?
Or wholesome Travolta or Duvall. Duvall was a big factor for me.
Yes, Duvall,
I
yes,
love
it's emotion
Duvall over
Duvall.
De Niro. It came down to
If
the
you wanna
Des.
see Robert Duvall's ass, watch I Know You're Out There and I Know You Do.
If we compare butt cheeks, Phenomenon wins.
We know that wasn't a stunt, but too, like, Robert Duvall put that in the script himself, and it was just like, "This has to happen or I'm not doing this."
All right. Well, yep. Second tie in Flick Fight's history, but I'm cool with it. These are both two great movies. Again, though, if you're the only thing it comes down to for me is I fucking hate the ending of Limitless. I feel like they could have done better. Have him
Yeah.
die like they do in Phenomenon. Fuck it.
Or, like or he sees one of his little fucking subordinates taking one of the pills and eyeing him or something, like,
Yeah.
he's not got everything he wants and he's not safe, like, fucking.
Well, even if he got everything he wants, just like a cool way that he figured out how to fix it would have been nice, other than
Yeah.
12 months later. Everything's awesome. I'm awesome and I fixed it.
Oh, don't worry about it, off screen.
But beyond that, the rest of the movie is still super dope. I did love that movie.
Yes. Yeah, no, visually, it's a treat, even if it gets you nauseous sometimes.
Exactly. Even him puking made me nauseous, just knowing how he feels right now. But we will get to how we're going to choose the next episode here in a moment. First, we'll give you a few trivia facts for each movie to leave on. I'll start with the ones for Limitless. Bradley Cooper's father was ill with terminal cancer during the film of this movie, and Cooper was accordingly relieved that the movie was shot in his hometown of Philadelphia so he could check on his father every day. And this is the one I was excited to tell you about. Shia LaBeouf was cast as Eddie.
No.
He had to
I mean, I
drop
can see
out
it.
after badly injuring his left hand in a car accident in July of 2008.
I mean,
assuming he was drunk.
Shia LaBeouf is kind of looking like he's ran into the Limitless drug recently.
Yes.
So maybe this is more true to life than we think.
I don't know that I would have liked this movie as much if it was Shia LaBeouf. This was one of Bradley Cooper's big breakout roles, I think.
It's true, but like I've seen Shia LaBeouf, like he was like pretty good in Eagle Eye. I remember he was in Constantine. He was good. Like he's got good roles. I don't know if you ever seen Peanut Butter Falcon. He was actually really good.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, he's
not
crazy.
saying he's a
but
bad actor. I just think there was a. I don't mean to sound superficial, but I think Bradley Cooper can glow up better.
Yes,
he can look like a crackhead really good, and then when he cleans up, it's like, wow.
Yeah, but I could definitely see his energy being brought to this, and I can definitely see how that would have been like a decision they made to continue.
Let's see. The apartment Eddie Morra lives in, shown in the introduction scenes along with the final scenes, is the same apartment shown in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's on our list.
In a rare move, writer Leslie Dixon sold the screenplay for the film under the condition that her script would not receive rewrites from any other screenwriter. Normally I would respect that, but if they had rewritten the ending, it might have been better.
Yeah, might could have used the pass-through too, maybe.
Apparently this is based on a book called Dark Fields. I just glimpsed at that one. There you go. All right, Nick, what do you got?
All right. This is a 90s movie. Trivia is scarce and a little bit comes from personal knowledge, but first one I got here is Old Town Auburn, California was used for the scenes of the town. Most of the businesses are still in operation. They thrive off the tourism generated by the movie to this day. Auburn is also the birthplace of Kane Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th.
What?
Mm.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, that's the little sleepy town that Jason comes from.
Geographical trivia.
Yes. Also, I have a very close friend whose family was a long-time residents of that area, and apparently the place in the floor where John Travolta falls the first time, there was a plaque that says "Phenomenon was filmed here," and they have to keep replacing it because people keep fucking stealing it.
I was thinking when you told me that, I was like, I want to go steal it, so I believe
that. Yeah. Brett Spinner filmed his role in a single day.
Who's Brett Spinner?
I don't know.
Let me look that up real quick. I'm assuming somebody unimportant from that fact.
Sean Penn, Ed Harris, and Jason Patrick were considered for the role of George Malley.
Oh, it's Data.
Yeah.
Brett Spinner's Data. Okay.
Yeah. Which makes sense. They filmed his role in a day.
Yeah.
So this is in one room. And I could see Sean Penn doing this. He could definitely pull it off.
Yeah, definitely. They're pretty interchangeable in the 90s, but I definitely like Sean Penn better than John Travolta. Even though he's a bigger piece of shit.
Yes. John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker would not act in a movie together until the much reviled Battlefield Earth 2000, which I don't think is a bad movie, even though it's a Scientology movie. It's still fun. I watched it without context, and I enjoyed it when I was 10, so fuck you.
I don't remember them being in that.
Oh yeah, it's like he's like leverage, like he's like the leverage alien.
Oh, this movie. Okay,
Yeah,
I keep mixing it up with Battle LA or something, but the crazy alien movie. Yeah.
Yep, and that's about it for trivia.
All right. So we're going to start doing something new with our episode selection. We will still use the random wheel generator, but just less frequently. So we get a little less instances where we're doing 3 similar matchups in a row. So today we're going to spin a wheel that is either me or Nick. And then Nick and I have selected a matchup from the list. And this will decide which one of ours we do. And then next week, the other person will select, and then we'll do the wheel again. So, without further ado, I wish I had a way to show you this. Laying on you.
All right. Well, I have my selection all planned out already, so we are going to go back to the 90s and engage in some terrible video game action as we are watching Super Mario Brothers versus Double Dragon.
Yes. It's a shit fight, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm fucking pumped. And spoiler alert, I won't tell you what it is, but next week we're going to be doing another shit fight. I wanted to get into some shitty movies because we haven't done any for a while.
No, I mean, we need to wallow in the depths for a bit before we come back up for air. It's necessary.
So yes, tune back in next week for just the worst fucking video game movies ever ever made.
No, and I know a lot about the background of both these movies, and I think no, it's not Alyssa Milano. Oh god, yeah, is Alyssa Milano? Is Double Dragon? Someone's famous in that.
I have no fucking idea.
Anyways, first butt I ever noticed when I was a kid, so there you go.
I'm so fucking psyched, dude. The Koopas and Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pumped. And just so you know, when we do shit fights, the rounds are designed so that the highest score is the shittiest movie and therefore the winner. So,
yes.
well, we will be going
which is
for
worst.
Yes. All right. So this week is a tie. I wouldn't be shocked if next week is a tie too, but tune in anyway. But
could be. I've got opinions, so we'll see.
Yeah. I'm fucking pumped. And we may or may not have a guest on next week's episode as well.
Yes. Trying to expand our brand.
Yes. With that, thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you thought of the matchup in the comments. Let us know if you would have scored anything differently. I'm going to be shocked if as many of you have seen Phenomenon as you've seen Limitless, honestly.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it, so that was a new one for me. So.
Granted, most of our demographic is 35 to 44, so just us.
Yeah. Like leave us a little emoji or anything in the comments that helps for engagement, and we always appreciate it, and we'll emoji you back.
Yeah, tell us your favorite part of Phenomenon and your favorite part of Limitless. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the episode, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. With that, I am Devin Vestal.
I'm Nick Nye.
And thanks for watching.
See y'all next time.